A wild Crystal Kitten entered the chat. Welcome to the stream. Crystal Kitten said, hello.
Yo!
A wild at Mike Carrier
What's up, Mike?
entered the chat. Welcome to the stream. At Mike Carrier said, sup nerds. Crystal Kitten
Mike Carrier,
said,
what's up, brother?
hi MC. At Mike Carrier said, yo CK.
I
Crystal
said
Kitten
hi to you.
said, you say hi to him but not me lol grinning squinting face.
I said, hey yo, what's up? You must have not heard me, but I said hello. Oh shit.
At Mike
Fable,
Carrier
ooh.
said, finally
Yeah.
got a night away from my grandfather, was playing some old school Fable with my daughter but she just went to sleep. Crystal Kitten said, you started coughing.
Yeah, but I said hi. I might have been coughing, but I said hi.
Wait, what?
Oh. I said, Kitten said hello. I said hello to her, but she didn't hear me. She's getting salty over it. She's got a case of salty vaginosis.
Oh,
For no
shit.
reason, because I said hello, but I was coughing when I said hello. But I said
Salty.
hello nonetheless.
At Mike Carrier
Salty.
Oh shit,
said,
I gotta stop the music!
Saltikatine.
What's up, everybody? It's Chaos for You 728, and I'm back with some more Final Fantasy 15. Hope everybody's having a great morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever it is you hail from. I'd like to thank those that are still subscribed. The support has been greatly appreciated. And thank you to those just recently subscribed. Hope you stick around for the long run. We're at 456, so we're creeping back up to my former glory at 458. That was my peak. Oh man, we're gonna pick up where I left off, which I guess that would be here. And while the loading
The girl's
screen
here.
is going, yep, Cooties is here. God damn it!
What?
Ew, Cooties!
That's
What?
just a joke. Oh no, a girl's here.
A wild
No.
Polska Bob
Cooties.
Polska!
entered the chat.
What's
Welcome
up, brother?
to the
How
stream.
you doing?
Polska Bob said,
Oh my god. I remember
Chaos
when we used to be
07.
in school and we did that. Ew, don't touch me, Cooties.
Crystal
Whenever the
Kitten
boys would say that to me,
said,
I'd chase them around the
hi
schoolyard.
Polska.
What? Who started that bull crap?
TV. Movies and shit. Putting ideas in kids' heads.
I think it started with the Little Rascals, the original black and white.
Probably. Alright, let's see here.
Watching my Knight Rider
Oh god.
in the stream.
The original or the remake?
Polska Bob
Do what
said,
now?
The
at the
original
Ministry
or
of
the
Beer,
remake?
I'll join
The
you guys
original.
later if I'm not too fucked up.
Cool.
I Polska.
Because to me, There is no Knight Rider other than the original with David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Can't get no
Oh,
better
yeah.
than that.
I mean, you can watch the
Polska
Team
Bob
Knight Rider
said,
bootleg remake if you
CK,
like,
Polska
or
tips his hat.
the one with the Ford Mustang, but nah, the Pontiac Trans Am. The Pontiac Trans Am's way better.
That dude was a joke. They should have found someone else to do that part because that dude was too. I guess the word to be effeminate looking.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of. The only way I could put it. He wasn't very masculine looking. Same thing with the guy they did oh god, what was it called? MacGyver. The dude they replaced MacGyver with is
Too scrawny
yeah.
and too nerdy looking.
Hey, you're saying nerdy like it's a bad thing. I'm a fucking
No,
nerd,
like-
man. What the fuck?
What the?
You bigot! You nerd foe!
I mean,
How dare you? I'm kidding.
is there?
myself.
I mean, is there a better Knight Rider than David Hasselhoff and
No.
Kit Trans Am?
Nah.
Oh, that beautiful Trans Am. I wish I had one of those.
Oh, none of the remakes they made of old TV shows really made a big hit. Like Magnum PI, that never became big.
Hawaii Five-O's doing pretty good.
Well, the thing about it, to me, in my opinion, they never capitalized or managed to recapture the magic that made them shows so great in the first place.
You are entirely wrong.
Folk here are real friendly.
They wanted to rebrand it. Like I said, most of the
Polska
stuff that's
Bob
coming out nowadays
said,
is it's a
Did
turd
someone just
that
upper deck a
already
toilet?
existed, and they're polishing it up a little bit, trying to rebrand it as something hip and new.
You know, I hate to say
It's the
it.
same old garbage with different
I hate to
faces.
You can reimagine those properties, but the 80s television shows were made in such a special time period in human history that I don't think we'll ever get back again.
No, anything they do nowadays, they're just gonna ruin it.
But yeah, Hawaii Five-O, that is a good remake that they did. Only
Yeah.
because they
Mike
kept
Carrier
it along with
said,
the original.
Can't recreate Tom Selleck's mustache.
Tom
that thing is
Selleck's
gold.
porn stash is you can't replace that.
Same thing with
Such a
General
majestic
Lee. I mean,
mustache.
there's no way you'd ever
Oh
make
yeah,
General
the original
Lee.
Dukes of Hazzard. The
Hazzard.
remake was.
The movie remake, yeah.
It
Don't even
was.
get me
It wasn't
started.
bad, but they could have.
They made
Jessica
Jessica Simpson's character
Simpson.
so stupid.
I mean, she is stupid. She married Nick Lachey of all people. Like, what the
Oh,
fuck? And then the bitch divorced him.
So, The Dukes of Hazzard, if you've never watched it, is a show about traditional values, coming
Some
up the hard way.
bootleggers.
Polska Bob
Yep.
said,
Not a
Guys,
Guys, I
bootlegger
got
who's
a
Uncle
sub.
Jesse.
I passed Phil. The race for 300
Making
is on
money off
W.
of
Ike.
selling moonshine, which is a real thing down here in the South.
It was
That's how
during
a
the
lot of families
time
got
of Prohibition.
Prohibition.
Yes.
Yep.
Courtesy of
And-
the feminazis, by the way, which they don't tell people about. They were the cause of the Prohibition movement. They didn't want their
And Mike
husbands out
Carrier
there carousing about in the
said,
bars and
She really is
smoking
stupid.
tobacco and
She didn't know
Yeah.
if it was tuna or chicken cause it was called
And,
chicken of the
having
CLOL.
family to rely on one another because they were all close. There was no racism in that show. If anybody says that show was racist, they've never clearly watched the show.
Oh, the reason why
it was chock full of white supremacy, though.
There was only one black character throughout the
Polska
whole
Bob
series.
said,
That just
I'm
means there's too
officially
many
one
white
ahead
people
of
in
Phil.
there. That's all that means.
Let's see. One of them was
Shit.
one of the
No.
black characters. I remember.
Good timing.
Yeah.
One of the.
Great timing.
What did you do?
Oh, you paused and I said shit. I knocked down this cord that I have to hook up every now and then when I do PlayStation parties, so the people in the
Oh, Jessica
YouTube can
Simpson
hear it.
like
She's
that?
a fucking retard.
I think Kitten was
Who's up,
talking about her.
Roderick?
You guys were talking about her. But yeah, she is stupid. Daisy Duke. Okay, look, the original character of Daisy Duke was not dumb.
No,
She actually
she's
told
actually
her own
smart,
life.
and I would motor,
Yeah.
but I would let her sit on my face. I wouldn't let Jessica Simpson sit on my face. I might
Who knows
catch
where
something.
something.
They made her character so dumb
knows what's been
that
in her.
show or
Yeah.
that movie. That's not even what Daisy Duke was like in the original show. Back then, she knew how to fight just like Bo and Luke.
She was very
And
resourceful.
she actually, yeah, she knew how to defend herself. There was a lot of bar fights in the original series. She knew how to fight them. In the new series, they just over sexualize her, like make her out to be just this, eye candy. And that's
She
not
made my
what
pee-pee twitch.
Like all the characters except for Willie Nelson's character, they made look stupid in that movie.
Willie Nelson was seriously the only good thing about that movie.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville wasn't very good at his role. And same thing with the other dude.
John William Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now there was a cameo by Burt Reynolds. Now he wasn't that bad, but you can't replace Sorrel Book as Boss Hog.
no.
And James Best as Roscoe, you can't replace
Polska
them
Bob
two. They're just iconic.
Said,
There's
Are
the
you
dude that
guys
did
talking
Super
about the
Troopers.
Dukes
Is the
of
one that
Hazzard
directed the
movie
new
done by Super Troopers?
What
Yep.
Polska Bob said. See, I never paid attention to who
Gen X
fucking
Gaming.
made the movie, directed
Enter
it,
the
or
chat.
nothing.
Welcome to
I
the
didn't
stream.
care about that
See,
shit.
Gen X Gaming.
See, also
Said.
in
Hey,
that
friends.
What's up, Gen X Gaming? How you
Polska
doing,
Bob.
buddy? Ooh.
That movie was awesome. Broken
also in that
Lizard
movie
did a
with
great
Jessica
job
Simpson,
with that
they had to
movie.
throw in that scene in there where people were getting mad about the flag on the car. Oh, why
Mhm.
don't you join us in modern times, asshole? No. Do some history and some research on the Civil War. That flag has nothing to do with hatred against black people.
Well, they just hate the flag.
Yep.
That's such a fucking
The way they tie it
Gen X
together,
Gaming
it doesn't make any
said,
sense.
Are
Oh
you
yeah, I'm
alright?
fine.
That scene alone almost caused me not to watch the movie.
Did you know that they made a second movie?
Yeah, they did. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that movie was even worse.
Yeah, and the girl that they got to play Daisy Duke, I think she was even dumber than Jessica Simpson, and she was a brunette.
They got her sister to do it.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because Daisy Duke was a brunette in the original series.
Yep.
Why would you make her
It's
blonde-headed
because
in
the
the new one?
Democrats and the Ku Klux Klan, which preceded the Democrats, corrupted the symbol.
Polska Bob.
Did a
said,
lot more than that.
That's because the Democrats and the Ku Klux
Civil
Klan,
rights
which
were all about
preceded the
states' rights.
Democrats,
People who
corrupted
were
that
running
symbol.
businesses down here that they wanted to cut in on. And we were like, no, you're not coming down here and taking over our businesses. There was a lot of other businesses besides owning slaves. And we didn't want it, and they come down here and we got in a war over our
Polska
right
Bob.
to, do what we wanted. And
There's nothing corrupted about the Southern flag
more
at all.
government tyranny. Yep. Of course, they're not going to tell you that the North also owned slaves, and a lot of them kept the slaves after the Civil War was over. That black people also owned black people and white people at the same time.
Good to go.
And natives. Don't forget about that.
And that Abraham Lincoln was very racist himself. who hated black people.
Uh,
Oh, they didn't teach you that in
uh,
school, did they?
I think that's stupid just to hate someone off the color of their skin. I don't think that's.
He slept with slaves, but he
Oh yeah. I mean, they were slaves. They weren't people. They were property. You can't take today's morals and all that shit and put it on the times back then. You gotta look at it from their perspective. And then you can understand it a lot better. It was never about racism. And believe it or not, this I've done some research into it. It was the Pope actually who had deemed Africans as enslavable in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
I
people
mean-
don't talk about that right there alone. But a lot of that was because they weren't, and the reasoning behind it though was because they weren't civilized. Yeah, civilized.
I mean, see, people forget there's a lot of folks down here who never owned slaves.
Nope. Shit, today,
And-
fuck. My
gotta
ancestors were probably
understand-
slaves at some point in time.
And you got to understand, slaves were a luxury at the time. Now, that's
Yeah.
fucked up to say. Obviously, that's fucked up to say, but they were considered because
Ooh.
businesses, because not everybody could afford to run a
Ooh.
business back then.
Mm-hmm.
So not everybody could afford to have slaves. And a lot of people didn't. Oh, shit.
Polska
It's gonna be a
Bob
long battle.
said, the NRA
that's
was
a giant
created by
snake.
the
I don't like
Republican
that.
Party to help free black slaves
It's a
in the
it's
South.
a no-no rope.
Oh, goodness.
I'm taking damage from hitting this guy. Make that make sense. That is a big ass
wow.
cobra. That is
Mr. E. Enter the
Midgersburger.
chat. Welcome to the stream.
I don't know whether
Mr.
to
E.
think of it as a cool snake or...
Sign of the
I'm-
horns, sign of the
I'm
horns.
gonna run
Polska Bob
because that's gonna kill
said.
me.
Against the KKK.
Looks like a pretty cool snake.
Yeah, but that snake is gonna kill. Ah, no! It's gonna kill me.
That's the ouch rope.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
outro. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Let me jump this wall.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm getting back on the interstate. You guys can take care of that.
Damn it. I gotta deal with this son of a bitch.
I would be frozen in fear up there on the interstate watching all you guys fighting.
Nope.
Like,
It's a-
no.
Nope. You're level 54. You can kindly fuck off. Level 18. This is a little bit better.
What level are you, Chaos?
I know when to pick and choose my battles. No, I could sit there and see. Why am I?
There's,
Okay,
there's,
I need to figure out why the fuck I'm losing health when I hit shit. That's confusing me.
that's a giant crab.
I'm just gonna ignore that. I need to figure something out. I need to go into my stuff because
Chaos
there's
crabs.
some bullshittery aloof right now.
Why is there always giant animals?
That's Final Fantasy, man.
Polska
It's the
Bob
way it works.
said. The Nazis took their playbook from the Dome Rats.
It's when a
Even
sword
they
with
thought
flames
they went
burning
to
at its
far
core
W their
protects the
racism.
wielder when the weapon is manifest. It's not doing a very good job at protecting me.
But getting back to what we were talking about. So to have a business back then was not something every white person did in the South. You know, it's just like now. Not every white person owns a business. And unfortunately, back in those days, having slaves was a business. It's fucked up. Very fucked up. That's how it
Like-
was.
Like depending on how the person looked and the age, a child could cost anywhere from $100 to $500.
Polska Bob
Oh God.
said.
An
Is Outlaw
adult
playing too?
woman, if she's like plain ugly looking, She
Mhm.
would probably go for about 600, 700. A
Wow.
woman that has like a figure, big chest, good teeth, stuff like that, that
Mhm.
woman can be sold for up to 2,000 to $3,000.
Yep.
Holy shit. And that's
Men,
back
on the
then?
other hand,
Yeah.
the men would be sold for anywhere between 5,000 and $20,000.
Oh, and when was this? Back then?
Yeah, back then with slavery, the men were the most expensive slaves you could get.
Yeah, because they were the workhorses. They were the ones that were put in the field and shit.
Polska
The
Bob
women,
Oh,
see the way
said,
the dynamic worked was the
"Might
men
be
were
an
out in the
armor
fields and
bill.
shit, and the
You
women
created
generally
chaos."
tended to the house.
yeah.
Wouldn't you know it?
No, it's
That
not the
dress
armor.
looks like the legend checks out.
And no, Polska, I'm not playing. I wish I was. This looks like a fun game.
Double back for
On
our coat?
PC.
What's the point?
But
But
yeah, no, the men were worth more because they were the ones that did all the manual labor.
Cold keeps the demons at bay?
Yep.
I mean,
Because monsters
I mean,
like
again,
you
it
are
goes
not.
back to
Sarcasm.
only certain people owned them. Only certain people were racist against them.
Wasn't
All
even-
white people.
They just
most
didn't
all-
like them because they were slaves.
And there's our warm welcome.
All white people.
Mr. E
Most all white
said,
people back then didn't own
The
them.
average
That was
slave
only
cost
your
1 year's
business
worth of
owners, the people
slavery,
who actually
plus you
ran
still had to feed and house
businesses out in the
them.
field.
Yep.
And shit
Slaves
like that
were
before you
combined
had
in
tractors
property
and,
mortgage. Why they couldn't
you know,
just
your
be freed.
farmers and
No use
Yep.
hanging around
And-
here.
And
And
if you had
see, the thing about there's the stigma
Mr.
with
E
slavery is the way they were
said,
they were treated.
Worth of salary asterisk.
That's some of the issues, the way they were treated. Yes, there were some slave owners who were terrible people, but for the most part, they were property, so they weren't abusing the shit out of them.
so a lot of white people down here in the South never owned them. We had nothing to do with the segregated bathrooms or nothing like that. You know, that's
Polska Bob
Nope,
We
that was
didn't
all
do that.
government mandated shit
I created
right
a
there.
built-in Mass Effect
exactly.
Andromeda
So
that did the
you
same
want to blame
accidentally.
anybody, black people? You blame the government. It wasn't the white people who made that happen. Just like nowadays, it ain't most of us keeping you down, but you're not being kept down anyway,
Nah, they're just keeping themselves down by trying to compare themselves to people they aren't.
Sure, there's something if we look.
right? So
Yeah.
you know, it's way too easy to debunk every bit of it, and I just don't waste my time talking about it because we all get it, we all understand the deal here. You know.
well, back then too, they had some slaves that were called breeders.
Yeah, during the when the Irish were being enslaved, they were taking, and you know, when the African slave trade first started, they were taking the Irish women and the African slaves, and forcing them to breed to create a hybrid, so to speak.
Mr. E.
And it went for even
Said,
more than
The
just the average
majority of
man.
southern plantation owners has a
There you
Latin
go, Mr. E.
background,
There's a good
not
point
European.
right there.
Yeah,
The
that
majority
too.
of southern plantation owners has a Latin background, not European. Exactly.
Watch
Yeah.
your step. No more slip-ups.
Look, Europeans never invented slavery in the first place.
No, that was a they were Asians, or not the Asians. It was the
Italian.
no. It was the
See,
Middle East.
if you go back and do a little history, you find out that black people sold black people to the Americas for this purpose.
Money speaks, man.
They sold their own people out.
Polska Bob.
And things
Said,
ain't changed even
Guys,
today. Most of
BBL.
them would be willing to sell each other out for crack or drugs or you know,
Money.
shiny whip, house.
Onward. Yep.
It's a problem. It's a problem within the people themselves. It's not a problem with Europeans or white people in general. It's a problem within their own race themselves.
Mr. E said,
I didn't help create it.
slaves' root word
I
is
didn't keep
Slav,
black. I've
as in
never
Slavic.
once kept
They
a
world
white person
prefers
down
white
wanting to do what
slaves,
they want to do.
not black.
Their argument is against very specific white people that did probably their very specific ancestors wrong. So you've already narrowed it down to not all white people already off the bat. Then you got to take into account the white people who's moved over here since slavery that never had anything to do with it, don't have family members that's ever had anything to do with it. Do they consider them people white colonizers as well? If they do, they're ignorant. So see, when you start shrinking down the numbers, you realize it's nothing more than taught hatred and revenge on certain people who did certain people wrong. And it's a waste of my time. I don't talk about it because it's way too easy to debunk.
Did you not see that coming?
Did you just kill a giant samurai?
I did. Now I'm about to kill a big old spider thingy.
Oh god, not the giant spider.
Looks like a scorpion.
It's a, fuck, I forgot what they were called.
You know, you look around today, some of the most wealthy people in America are black. I just saw today where Nicki Minaj is voted the most famous rap queen of all time.
Ugh.
Oh, they're so
Hispanic.
oppressed. White people are so oppressed.
Yeah, outlaw.
Oprah-
Nicki Minaj, she's Hispanic.
Isn't she Dominican or Puerto Rican or something
I
like
have
that?
no clue.
I think it's
I would-
Puerto Rican. But yeah, she's not black.
No.
It's not letting me jump up there. Okay.
Mr. E
No, she's
said,
what is she? She's
how about the slave markets in Libya and Ethiopia are
Oh,
back
shit. What
open
is Oprah
cause of
Winfrey?
Obama? You can buy a black man for $200 US dollars. Whites
You know,
didn't do that.
Hey, go through. You can go all the way through Hollywood. Denzel Washington. You know,
Came to a
Barack
dead end.
Obama, which he ain't black
You
either.
find anything?
Nothing but ice.
Cool.
Barack Obama's half black.
Yeah. You got. Oh God, you got Queen Latifah. You got Samuel L. Jackson. You got all them women that played in them black soap opera movies, The Color Purple. Whoopi Goldberg. You know. Sorry, I've never kept any of you down. I'm not responsible for why you're not where you want to be in life. That's your problem. We're all born with choices to make our lives better. There's no excuse, especially in modern times where you're getting diversity hires put ahead of the lines in front of white people.
Mr.
Think
E
of it like
guys-
said,
this, man.
how rich is
like,
Dr. Dre and Jay-Z?
To blame the color of your skin as the reason something bad is happening to you. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's
Hey, how's it look
because
over
I'm black. It's like, what?
Be winning.
You gotta be
No.
taught that you're a victim, right? That you're helpless.
Well, did you guys hear about what the Academy Awards are doing?
No, because I don't care about them. I quit
Dr.
caring
Dre.
about those assholes a long time ago.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Tupac. List goes on and on of all these famous
They get
rappers.
inducted in the Hall of Fame finally.
But I will say this: I find it funny that Eminem is one of the most famous rappers of all time, and he's white. And yet they praise this man like he's a god.
No, it's because he's on
But
that
y'all hated white
Democrat.
folk.
It's because he's on that Democratic dick.
Yeah.
He's straight up said, if you
Mr. E
support Trump, I don't want you
said,
listening to my music.
I've
I'm
been a
like,
few
"That's
places in the
shame."
world.
All
We
right
are the
then,
least
you
racist
cunt.
country in the world. Rest of the world
So,
countries
I
laugh
had
at us.
no problem not listening to his music anymore. Every now and then it'll pop up on my playlist, but for the most part, oh, listen to that motherfucker.
Oh, what I wouldn't give
Listen
for
to
a
who?
bowl of soup.
Who? Feminem.
Soup.
Oh,
We're almost
I
there.
don't listen to Eminem.
We gotta
I
be.
think he's
I
trash.
think maybe I don't know because I don't pay attention. I heard ICP might have said the same thing.
I do not care.
It's like shut up and dance, monkey. That's what you're paid to do. I don't care about your political stances.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna put them out there,
Knock, knock.
man, guess what? I suddenly don't support you no more.
Easy.
And then you sit there and say I have white privilege. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mr. E.
I need
Sad.
me
You
some of that white
I liked
privilege,
Venom when
goddamn
he
it.
was a drug addict stuck in
You
the
realize
closet.
how demonized
LOL.
and oppressed we're becoming as white people in this mind. Oh, you can't be oppressed. You're white. You got privilege. No. No.
What is privilege, though, other than something that's earned? It's like, yeah, I earned this, so what?
A
we
simple
work for your
deduction.
money.
Because that's what privileges are. They're things that are earned. Rights are granted, privileges are earned, so...
Like I said, this stuff is just...
Most of the people that are crying out white privilege are people that don't have jobs.
Mm.
They're living off of welfare.
Mm.
They're in and out of apartments, moving so like once a week because they can't pay their rent because drugs are more important.
Yo, 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 I need them $500 Jordans.
Yeah, spending their money on stupid things that are overpriced for no reason.
I need that Gucci, man. I gotta be cool in front of my peeps, yo. It's clout chasing. Clout chasing, retarded. That's just my opinion. To each their own. If you need clout to feel valid, then hey.
Does this mean we can go back outside? Oh yeah.
Might need to do a check on yourself and get right in your head.
Yeah, like
The
you,
privilege
nobody
and the
said
privilege may be revoked. No, all this shit that they're calling rights and stuff,
Mr.
like the
E
vote and all that, it
said,
can be taken away at any
Once
given
you
time.
have to buy a right, the
They
right is
fail
a
to realize
privilege, and a
that.
privilege may be revoked for any reason at any time for good or bad. At Mike Carrier said,
Oh, you don't see
white
people,
privilege is
white
BS.
people getting
Ask
shot
all
up
of the
in the
people
news. You
shot
only see
by
the
cops
black
that are
ones, but
white this year,
meanwhile,
lol.
White privilege is a racist ideology. It's a racist idea in itself. We all have certain privileges. Some of it's handed down, some of it we've had to earn ourselves. I don't have a lot of privilege. I couldn't go up to someone, tell them to. I mean, I could, but consequences of my actions are going to be left up to Murphy. I was talking to someone the other day and they actually blocked me over this shit. I told them everything's a privilege. There's nothing rights. Nothing's really a right because everything's technically earned.
exactly.
At Mike
And
Carrier
he said, he said
many
God
more white people are
gave him
shot by cops
the
than
right
minorities
to
because
live.
there just happens to be
And
more of us.
I said,
A wild.
yes, but at any given
J.I.
time, that life can be
entered the
taken from you.
chat.
Therefore, it's
Welcome
not a
to the
right; it's a
stream.
privilege.
J.I.
Well,
Exactly.
Jay,
It's a
Would
privilege
love
to
make
be
a
alive.
difference, we wouldn't.
Oh,
Be
God,
able
yeah.
to.
Jay, and Jay, that's why I personally don't vote at all. Me and Brandon got into this discussion the other day on his stream, you know, and I'm just like, no, I don't believe in
You
not
see,
under.
Voting
that's
doesn't make a difference.
it used
It
to.
does, but it doesn't.
In a true, so here's the thing about democracy. A true democracy, these minority groups that are causing all the bullshit,
You okay?
they wouldn't have any say if the majority was actually voting.
What is it?
A
hole in the ground.
There's
Something burning.
they're the majority doing the
A
voting.
meteor?
That's the
You saw
problem.
the disk of Kothis.
Yep.
Yeah, it got Trump in. It sure as fuck did.
Gotta report to Talcott.
At Mike Carrier said, it got
Like
Trump
that
in LOL,
investigation
but then
that
they
was
learned how
supposed
to
to go
stop
on
that
with
from happening
to
again.
Trudeau about that
Mr. E
foreign investigation.
said,
Like I said,
voting for the lesser of two evils
Apparently,
is
they don't
still
have to do
voting
an
an evil.
investigation because nothing was
20
going on.
2016 was the Democrats' test run. 2020 was them implementing everything they learned from 2016. Because they had them, they were slated to win. They didn't expect Trump to win. I didn't expect Trump to win. I thought Hillary was gonna win.
So here's the thing in a nutshell about voting. It's a rigged game. Your vote does not matter. Either side is controlled opposition, depending upon
They
which
are
side you
controlled
take.
opposition, regardless. They all
Um,
work for the same group of rich assholes.
We are at this point in history well beyond any kind of diplomatic solutions, because diplomatic solutions, the people who run the diplomatic solutions are the problem in the first place. So what you have is a problem from the top all the way down, which means voting currently is not an option for people who want to change things. Now, if you want to change things, you have to educate yourself on the Constitution and the laws and what the words mean, and you have to take action
J.I.
to remove the
said,
tyrannical people,
Justin
and you have
Turdhole
to
was
keep
never
those
voted in
checks
by
and
the people.
balances
He
constantly
was
in
voted in by
place
35% of his
on
peers.
top of every single day. Fighting for this country's freedom is an ongoing process. It's not a destination. Fighting for freedom is not a destination. It's a constant journey. You have to fight constantly to keep the freedom. It's like a machine. You have to maintain it. You know, you're not gonna just get these people out and then everything gets fixed. No, you have
Mr.
to
E
keep fighting every single day.
I don't
Keep
vote
it.
cause I refuse to
What,
sit
too
on a
embarrassed to
jury
show
to
your
Oh, there
enforce
is no freedom left.
unconstitutional law.
I got muscle. You just can't see it.
Now, no, I'm not suggesting that you go into doing criminal activities. No, absolutely not. That's not what we're here to
Look, that is
suggest.
so much fun.
I know, right? Mr. E, I did jury duty one time, and then I got a summons the second time, and I didn't show up.
Listen,
And I'm not
people
gonna show up to
don't-
the next one, or the next one after that.
listen. Most people don't understand that voting is out of the question in the first place. That the laws that are made under these people are tyrannical. They're null and void. They're invalid to begin with, and then they're just constantly adding on top of these laws. What has to be done is you have to remove the corruption. But you have a spider web of corruption all over the world at this point, with all kinds of connections and links
Mr. E
between these countries.
said,
So
they get jury duty registration
I
from
don't know
voting
what
registration.
you do at that point.
At Mike
What's the
Carrier
matter? You all right?
said,
He'll be fine.
I
don't
probably have a
worry.
warrant for ignoring
Well, I
jury
know up
summons
here if
over
you
the
have a
years
criminal
LOL.
record, then
I've
you
only
just-
gotten
Then look no
one.
further than the outlook. We can use the
And that was
viewer
like
thing.
last year, and I ignored the
substitute
fuck out of
being
it.
on site,
In fact, I
but it
slept
would be
through
a
it.
start. Let's see what we can glean of Nock's condition.
If they had a big
Yeah,
problem with it, they'd get my ass. And I'd tell them, eat my ass, and whatever happens, happens.
Like I know up here, if you have a criminal record of any kind, you cannot do jury duty.
Well, I don't have a criminal record. Because I'm a L7 square, goddammit.
If you have multiple people voting that are illegals in the first place, you have dead people voting, and you have people just throwing their votes away,
Dude,
your
oh,
vote
this is
don't
gonna be a
matter.
party in my mouth.
If both sides,
I can
if
recreate
both
this.
candidates are owned and controlled by the same people, the media, the Fortune 500 companies, the banks, all that, then what good is voting if you're just putting in another evil person in the next election?
What a coincidence.
The problem is at the
I'm
top.
not so sure it is.
The problem of all this is the head.
Aren't nursery rhymes
The head of the
curious
snake, the head of the
things?
dragon, whatever you want to call it.
The
People who make it
beast
happen.
From
system,
the deep,
the
the
government.
Archean calls.
Yep.
Yet on deaf ears the god's tongue falls. The king made to kneel.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense, right?
So how do
We're
we
so
keep him on his
terrible, but
feet?
everyone keeps coming here.
You need only heed the call.
At Mike Carrier
Visit
said,
the Archean and hear
yet
his
everyone
plea.
still wants to
Oh,
come here.
we've been getting
Go
a lot
figure.
of illegal Mexicans up here too, straight from
Take a
Mexico.
ride?
That means democratic cities and states are shuffling them up your way.
I'm not one
Yep.
to stand on ceremony, but such an
The
occasion
power
calls for an
that these
introduction.
LGBT,
Call me Arden.
these
Come with
feminists,
me to the
these
car park.
BLMs,
That's where I left
these
my
Antifas
She's
is
a
just
dear old
power
thing.
that's on
Pales
borrowed
next to
time.
your regalia.
Because
Just never
eventually,
let me down.
the higher ups
Sir,
will see
we
them
take
as a
2
threat that they
vehicles,
have to
a
get out of the way.
convoy of sorts,
You honestly
shall
think they're
we?
going to allow the BLMs to get more power over them? That's never going to happen. There's going to come a point to where they're going to be useful idiots that are used no more. They're going to be discarded like the tools that they were. Just like us working men out here in the working fields every day of our lives. Same exact thing. They're using them too. Only to be discarded when the time comes. Now seriously, think about this for a second. If the banks, if the Fortune 500 companies, if all these people are in charge of this and making this shit work, the Rothschilds, the Goldman Sachs, whoever you want to name, do you honestly
Sachs.
think for a split second they're going to allow lesbians, gays,
What's
racist
that?
black people, women, or any of those types of people
Allow
to
me
get power
do the
over
honor of
them?
assigning your driver. I choose.
They're using them like tools that will be discarded
with you,
once their
You
usefulness
might
has
find
run
the canned
out.
fare to be more than you bargained for.
Mr. E said,
You drive
And
your
now
BLM
you're
is a
starting to see the
Soros-funded
left eat
organization.
itself. These people
Soros
eating
served the
themselves.
Nazi Party.
Because the flaws of all of these ideologies are starting to surface in our culture. The trans women in the sports. Truth be told, they don't know how to combat that.
No, how
We
did
know
how
how
did
they
two
do
how
that,
did
yeah.
two oppressed groups, like, how do you work that out? Like, I find it funny, you know, a lot of women were on board with the whole trans thing until the bathroom and having to compete with them. But they were going around chanting trans women are women.
Yes.
So
The faults of these ideologies, the cracks in the foundations of these ideologies are starting to surface in our culture.
But really, were they promoting them though, or was that CNN promoting them? Like, did you ask the high school girls and the college girls and stuff, like, were they really standing by them and doing that?
oh,
Well,
I'm pretty sure the
you've got-
schools were telling them also, you know, just shut up and deal with it. Treating them like men.
Well,
Mr. E
both actually.
said,
Because, you
I
know,
laugh
Media-
at feminists about
media
transformers in
propagandized
their
it, and
areas.
people bought into it
Remember,
hook, line,
feminists
hook, line, and
took male
sinker.
areas away.
Till Leah Thompson started like smashing people, and then somebody slammed a volleyball in some girl's face so hard, like, you know.
You see, just like with the bathroom issue, who would have thought that going into the women's bathroom as a full-grown man where there's children present wouldn't have negative consequences? Really?
I
Really?
said that shit when this shit first started coming out. I was like, that's a bad idea. This isn't going to end well. And lo and behold,
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just add a third bathroom?
they could do that, or they could tell the people, you know, go get help. There's something wrong with you. Quit being
Mr.
a
E.
bitch.
Said, it's the fall of
Yeah.
Rome 2.0
Where
with
only-
Wi-Fi.
It's
Pull up a
essentially
chair
Rome
and watch the shit
2.0.
show. Who's bringing the
The
snacks
only
and
family
blunts?
bathroom.
LOL.
The only reason that
They
these
can
people
go
are
out
even
back. That's where their bathroom should be, in an outhouse out back.
Hmm.
the only reason that these people are a threat in the first place is because they're backed by the bankers. They're sponsored in our media. The media promotes them. Your governments have protected them with laws. That's the only reason they're a threat. Most of these people don't believe in defending themselves with weapons. They don't eat healthy, so you know they're not going to be able to defend themselves in a fist fight. I mean, come on, man. Most of them are women. You know, men are stronger than women biologically.
All right, all right. Let's hit the road
So
already.
yeah, if you're transgender and you walk in there and you start swinging your dick around in a junior high school in front of a girl,
First to go,
and daddy
then
comes
was
in and
Tom.
beats your ass, then it's a hate crime.
It to be a coincidence.
Instead, how are these protected groups supposed to, like, how do you deal with a whole bunch of protected groups?
Bothers me deeply.
And if they granted
It's hard for me
that
to picture
power to
that
these
guy in the
groups, they
Empire.
can take it
But it's
away
even
from
harder
them,
to
and they
imagine them
will.
as a Lucian.
Oh yeah, they'll eventually they'll eventually wear out their usefulness, or they'll bite the hand that feeds, and the government will be like, "All right, you done."
I'd sooner not
What you
rely
are
on them.
seeing,
But
what you're
maybe
seeing in
our
the
only way
culture,
into the Disc of
is
Gothis.
people who
What's
have
His
been
Highness's
enabled
opinion
and
of this?
empowered by all of these
Don't really
media
have one.
groups, the government
There's nothing
laws,
more
the
than a
Fortune
creepy
500
old dude
companies
to
for
me.
so long
You hit
that
the
they
nail on the
fed
head right
off
there.
of the
Well, that's why we
entitlement,
came up
and
with a
now
plan.
they're in a position
Gotta
where they
watch
think
our
that they're more
backs the
important
whole
than they
way.
actually are. They can't understand why people are hating them and pushing back against them more and more because they have an overinflated self-ego.
Locked.
Thanks to the
Narcissism.
government,
It's
thanks to the
narcissism.
media.
But they come
And
without
see, that's
warning.
here's the
Wouldn't
thing:
wanna have
you're
one
either
behind
born
the
a
wheel.
narcissist or you're
Stop if it
created a
eats you, all right?
narcissist. And the way to create a narcissist is keep boosting someone's ego, keep telling them what they want to hear.
Well, they're flawed. They're
So
pawns and they
many
don't
hands along the
understand
way.
it.
Oh, somebody
We're
wants
playing
to
chess
bet.
here, and they're all
Somebody else wants a
pawns.
proper
That's
bet.
like
They're gonna
the-
use them as long as they can, and then they're just gonna
Shall we at
fucking
least make
discard
a
them,
caravan?
just like they
I
did
don't get
people
why you
that
like
wanted to have
camping so
abortions
much.
and stuff like that, because they
Well,
use
see,
that for
one with nature.
decades.
The
You
thing
know.
with abortions is the lady that they used for to push Roe versus Wade. She ended up having her kid in the end. She never had the abortion,
What say we
but they
continue
don't
on
talk
to
about
Caucasus?
that.
The Archean's not going anywhere.
And you don't
Didn't
hear
she
about
give
that
the-
broad either. I don't think she gave up the kid either.
With Arden.
Hell no.
And then
I'm a libertarian.
well, think about
I
what
mean,
happened. Like, look at Martin Luther King. You know, he was a socialist, but he, you know, the one thing he did, you know, don't judge somebody based off the color of their skin, which I get that. It's, you know, don't judge them based off the color of the skin, character shit. I get that.
Go
That was
figure.
it. But past that, he was a socialist.
Well, it was a lot different back
But
then too. Like,
once
you talk about
once the
150
civil
years.
rights, but here's the thing: once the civil rights once the civil rights movement happened and all that shit, and they all got the right to vote and all that other shit. What happened to
Mr.
Martin
E.
Luther King?
Said, narcissism is a learned behavior,
What happened to
usually
JFK?
from the main care provider
Well, he started-
reinforced
well,
over many years as
JFK
rewards for
fucked
bad
up
behavior, e.g.
By talking
single
about the
moms.
Illuminati.
Yeah. So he was like a Democratic Trump.
Yeah,
You know.
John Wilkes Booth was a 33rd degree Freemason.
Mhm.
We don't talk about that. He just did some weird gay shit to that guy.
It's just strange. Like we don't really have, dude. I've been on this planet for 42 years now. I've never
Mr.
once
E.
had any white person come
said,
up to me. I've never
Trump
actually
was a
seen
demo shit
anybody
in
with
the
fucking
90s.
swastika tattoo or any of that, and like come
I
up to me
have.
and be like, "Hey, you want to join the Aryan Brotherhood?"
No,
And
not
like,
that.
but no, but CNN would have you believe like this is everywhere you go. White supremacy.
Mr. E.
Whistle to summon enemy
said,
combatants.
Reagan
RT.
was a demo shit in the 60s.
Yep. Reagan was a Democrat, and he put the nail in
Reagan
the
was a
coffin.
Republican.
He was a Democrat at first, and when he became president, before he became president, he switched over to Republican.
Well, as far as my
he-
knowledge, he was the last one to balance the goddamn budget.
Reaganomics was a joke. The thing he really did that was fucked up was he put the nail in the coffin for the nuclear family by bringing in no-fault divorce.
Bush did some stupid shit.
Bush was a fucking idiot.
Bush
he was a fucking
Senior.
rhino. Both of them were
Read
idiots.
my
They were
lips.
fucking
No, no
rhinos.
taxes.
They were
And
fucking
what did he do?
rhinos,
He raised
dude.
taxes.
They were Democrats.
And then, and then
Masquerading
George
as
W. Bush,
Republicans.
he was just as
Ugh.
bad.
Borrowed all that money from China, and then Hillary gave fucking China eminent
Mr.
domain
E.
so they could buy land here.
Said, Jimmy Carter was the last president to balance the budget.
Like, this is just
Jimmy
history
Carter.
repeating itself
Yeah.
every fucking
Mr.
year.
E
It just every
said,
fucking presidency.
Reagan
It
did
just
trickle-down
keeps getting worse and
economics.
worse. It doesn't matter who's in office, but Trump was the last gleaming hope, man. Like, he was actually making shit better, dude.
The thing about Trump, he used to be a Democrat before he became a Republican. Everybody, including Hillary Clinton, including Epstein, all those people liked him before he ever decided to run for president. He became president. He ran on the Republican ticket, and he realized that there was a mass majority of Republican Christians in this country. Guess what platform he ran on? He's a businessman, folks. He thinks like a businessman. He
A
goes
wild
where the majority of the people
MGTOW
are.
forever.
The mass
Yo,
majority of
MGTOW
people
MGTOW forever!
Into the
right
stream.
wing Christians.
MGTOW forever.
So he
Said,
went after the crowd.
Hey dude.
And he won.
Mr.
What did he
Played
do
their
wrong?
favor.
said, Rand
I
Paul
mean, other
and
than
Tesla
just
Gabbard
talking
ticket
like an
sign
asshole
of the
on Twitter,
horn,
I
sign
mean, what
of
did he
the
really do
horn.
wrong? Like, the shit he was doing for the country benefited most people, like, just about everybody.
Most of the
And I'm
things he did was good. The only thing I didn't agree with was Operation Warp Speed.
Deliver us from darkness.
Oh, yeah,
What's
well, I
that?
didn't either. And then they turned around and they blamed all that shit. Well, Democrats took credit for it. But, you know, because as soon as Biden got elected, oh, hey, we got all these vaccines. Yeah, you shouldn't have rushed that because it takes a long time for this shit to. Now you got fucking healthy NFL players just falling
I saw
cardiac
this
arrest, and stuff,
video.
falling down on the field and shit. Like,
These guys ended up suing Fauci for apparently a whole bunch of different vaccines were never tested. And when they finally got something from them, there was nothing because they didn't test anything.
We should have done more. Like
and Fauci was behind the whole AIDS epidemic also. They were literally just killing people.
He's been doing what's it called, gain of function research for a long time.
That came out of nowhere.
And they know it.
Let yourself go with the eyes
Oh,
of
look at
Gates.
Fi-
I don't know about that.
He's
Red
involved
Visor
in it.
too.
Good morning to you. I should warn
Soros
you, we're
funds
about
a
to
lot
pass
of
the
it.
point of no return.
So,
I trust you're not having any second
There's no way there's going to be a Democrat in the office in 2024. They already know and they're already planning ahead that there's going to be a Republican sweep the House for 2024.
Yeah, well, they said that about the midterm elections, and look what happened. They stole
Well,
it. They stole it.
I'll tell you
Fucking
why.
that what's his fucking name? Can't even do a complete sentence.
fragments found nearby.
Well, I'll tell y'all
Feldman,
why.
Felderman, or whatever.
Almost found,
Yeah.
I should say.
I'll
And
tell
he
y'all
couldn't
why.
Caught it.
stroke
And he's
victim.
still there.
I'll
holding
tell
the
y'all
thing
why.
up.
Think
Guess he
here
never
about a
misses
few
like
weeks
they-
ago what they
or
just
any
let
day for
happen
that
here on
matter.
YouTube.
His unceasing toil and the
They're now
meteor's
allowing
might
you
from
to
the
talk
tenets
about
of
the
worship
election
for the
results
locals
of
of the
2020.
sky.
Well,
Makes you
we
wonder
already
what
could
it's
talk
like
about it.
down there at
But
his feet.
they're going ahead and they're doing damage control for the 2024 election because they're going to want to,
So you know it's hot
have
work
an
going.
excuse to go
The
against the
camera
Republicans. Say,
photo
oh,
watch.
didn't you say
As
that,
long as I avoid
elections
open
were stolen?
flames,
Why
it
can't
should
you
be
admit the
okay.
2024 election is
think.
stolen?
We don't have a spare.
Because
if it
they know
breaks.
that either,
Leave it in the car?
who's running
Oh,
now?
no,
What's his
I'm
name?
taking it. Not every day you get up close
DeSantis.
and personal with
DeSantis.
Arkian.
Ron
I can't
DeSantis.
DeSantis.
They
if I
know,
missed the photo op.
they know that
Spoken
either
like a
he's
true
going in
photographer.
or the other
As
guy.
they say,
So
better to try and
they're
fail
going to
than
want
never
to
try at all.
use the same excuse that
you.
we did for 2020.
say
Oh,
that.
why can't you say that this
Not me.
election was stolen? It's
You just do what you
look,
gotta.
all of this is just pointing fingers back and forth towards one side or the other. That's all this is. It's a circle jerk. It's spinning people's wheels.
Hey,
It does
Iggy,
nothing.
can your
Meanwhile,
glasses beat?
what they're doing is they're
Said.
getting away with all of
The
these
demo
laws
shit
that
party
they're,
is
they're
getting
creating
ready for
that's going to
Newsom
have
to
an
run
effect
in
long term.
24.
All the
God
things that
help
they're putting into
us.
place that's going to happen long term. Like the digital currency that's coming, or all of these EVs that's fixing to get ready to take place. This is the stuff that people needs to focus on, not the election.
Indeed.
The election is just a dog and pony show.
Ambiguity.
That's where they.
The
So it's like
grand
it's like
I'm getting the picture now.
stage.
it's like okay, it's like going to a magician, like watching a show in fucking Vegas or something, right? They do the hoopla over here, distract you, and then the real stuff's happening behind the scene. That's all they do with us every year. They get us fighting against one another, like, you know, about stupid things that they're never going to change, abortion and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they have us, like, fighting against each other constantly.
Tao forever.
The real crime is what's happening behind the
Fake and
scenes.
gay like TFM says.
Now, I
LOL.
know that Sunflower watches this show,
Don't really
and
inspire
she's like, what, the only feminist that comes over here?
Sunflowers.
I'll give you a
I don't
curveball.
think she
Yeah.
comes around anymore.
Yeah, she
Well, I'll
had
give
been
her
a long time.
I may not look.
Yeah.
I'll give her a curveball.
I drop
If women are supposed to be the next big thing in the White House, why had they not caused Joe Biden to step aside and let Kamala Harris be the president? Ain't he an old white man? Another old rich white man that needs to step aside
Mr. E.
in favor of women?
Said.
Every time she talks, she looks
called
like she
Wag
just
the
came
Dog.
out of the fucking dentist's office with some laughing gas. Bitch is retarded.
Tao forever.
She's an affirmative
Said.
action president,
Cumula
vice
Harris
president.
face with tears of joy.
Where's,
Face with
where's
tears
You
all
of
want
the
to
joy.
talk about
feminists?
sleeping her way up the chain of command?
Where's all these feminists demanding that Kamala Harris ask Joe Biden, a rich old white man, to step aside so she can be president?
Yeah, where's all the feminists protecting all the people that Bill Clinton raped?
Mr. E.
Did he really
Said.
rape him though, or
You mean
did
come
you
Wiley
know?
Amon
I
Menes
mean, I'm just
Harris.
saying, like, still, your
mean,
abuse of power and this and that, like, hashtag
Did he
Me
really
Too and
abuse?
all that
I mean,
shit.
they made the choice. At the end of the day, they let his clout and all that shit influence them. So it's technically their fault.
But when they went after Justice, what's his name, and like,
Kavanaugh,
well, I was at the same
yeah.
party he was, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was him or not, but he had a red Solo cup. So did everybody else at the party, and you're just making shit up and like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Not saying he didn't, but I'm also saying, you know, like Trump said, if you're a man of influence and status and you got money, women will let you grab them by the pussy.
I was just
Well,
fixing to say it.
And
I
it's
mean,
very true, you know? We all know that's true. But why be mad at Trump for stating the truth? Be mad at the women for not having enough self-control to let that influence them. I mean, it's that simple.
Same thing with the casting couch. in Hollywood. Look at all the female.
We
Look,
went
look,
there.
Seriously.
You want to be
Look
part
at-
of Hollywood, you gotta do Hollywood, and I'm Hollywood, sweetheart.
Look at all the women over the several decades that
Here
have
we
been
go
on that
again.
casting
This
couch.
one's huge. Get away!
Knows what it's about, and because the producer or whoever it was at the time had power to make their careers what it was, they sold their soul over to the devil metaphorically to do it.
Yeah, ask Harvey Weinstein about that shit. How many times did he get his dick sucked, and how many famous actresses do we have because of it?
All them groupies, man, that are coming out saying they were raped.
I mean, look, every one of these women actresses that say this stuff is Me Too, I don't believe them.
I don't condone it. I'm not condoning it because I
I don't
understand
condone it
there are
either.
things
No,
that
I
happen.
don't condone
Mr.
actual.
E.
No, I don't condone
Said.
actual rape or anything.
Men
but I'm
pursue
saying
power to get
the
laid.
women who
Women
knew
use
what they
sex
were
to
getting
get
into
power.
and did it anyway. No, I don't.
My thing is like, so the most famous one is like Amber Heard, like when she was going after Johnny Depp, and you know goddamn well he didn't do anything wrong, man. They just had a relationship,
But what?
but she came out with all that crazy shit, and everybody watched the trial, and you knew it was all bullshit. That was like the end of the hashtag Me Too, because everybody saw that shit and they're like, no, we're tired of this.
Well, Amber Heard is the leader of the Me Too movement.
You too.
What? We're going where?
She killed it.
Don't brush off on your own.
And it's like, even though Johnny Depp won that trial, he is still pretty much blacklisted from playing in any movies.
Yeah, he lost all his shit. It ruined his career and everything, even though he didn't really do anything wrong.
Let's not ruffle their
It's like
feathers.
all those
And
Duke lacrosse players.
And meanwhile, she's still allowed going around playing in movies and acting and shit like that.
Mr.
And,
E.
I haven't
Said.
seen her in anything since then.
Metu is still alive and well
the
in the
newest
courts.
movie she was in kind of flopped because nobody went to see it.
Well, can you blame him? Because nobody wants to support that shit anymore. It's like, fuck, if you got Disney Plus, fuck you. Like, if we get tired of it, Gina Carano, or, you know, they're getting on her about that thing, and it wasn't even a thing, you know?
The mark of the beast is Democrat.
Disney's so
I think I
woke
just
now.
cracked the code. Oh my god.
Here's the thing, even with that. See, I don't use the term Democrat or Republican anymore because that's not what these groups are. You're dealing with some far left extremist progressives, and you're dealing with far right extremist conservatives. These aren't Republicans or Democrats anymore. That's in this. You know, we haven't seen traditional Democrats or traditional Republicans in a long time in this country.
At least 20
You know,
or 30
classical
years.
liberals, classical conservatives.
Mm.
Hey, over here.
I mean, I consider myself a
Classical
libertarian, but
liberals.
that's basically labels me as a Republican because I'm libertarian, you know? These people are just too far out of
Over
it.
here.
I don't know, man.
No time to chill either. Make it quick.
It gives me no hope for the future, I'll tell you that, because, you know, my daughter just turned 18
Just want this
like a
to
week
be
ago, and
over.
she's got to grow up with this shit's gonna get worse and worse, and she's got to grow up with it.
Isn't she going
I
to
just hope-
college?
Well, that's the plan. So,
All the time.
you know,
Let's hurry the hell across.
it just. But at the same time, if she could go to a vocational school or do something like that, it might just be well, because
You doing all right?
fuck, some college kids now are coming out only making $20,000-$30,000 a year. Is well, shit. Just because you have a degree and you gotta spend all that money to get it,
Said,
you might as well just go to
being
vocational
Republican
school and
doesn't
actually
mean
make
you're
some real money, you know?
conservative. Being Democrat doesn't make you a liberal. They are not mutually exclusive.
Calm down. I'm going as fast as I can.
I never went to college and I made good money in my life. Of course, it
When
was
I,
hard work.
when I started working, the minimum wage was like $5.25.
Yeah, and it's like $2 more now.
Shit.
And everything is, you could, dude,
How
20
much?
years ago you could buy a house for like $80,000. Now they're all like $200,000. Yet minimum wage is like, it's gone up $2.
How much is the minimum wage down where you guys are?
Intruders.
In Texas, it's like $7.25 or $7.50 or some shit.
Let's move.
It is 750, I think, here.
Wow.
I know some places it's 15.
Some
Yeah,
jobs,
California,
like,
but cost of living, that's why,
Mm.
you know.
some jobs, yeah, it's 15, but
I know up here, minimum wage for say a job like McDonald's, it's $15.50 now, and by October, all minimum wage is supposed to be going up to $19.75.
Get off my back.
What's your cost of
Well-
living up there? How much does your gas cost and stuff like that?
well, that's what I was fixing to say. It will go up to accommodate it.
Of course I am.
Like for a
couldn't forget it
one-bedroom
if I tried.
apartment,
What about
you're
it?
looking at close
I
to
ain't saying that
$1,000 a
you've
month,
forgotten, but you gotta know something.
and that's just a
That's
single
You're
room.
not the only one who's having a tough
Like
time.
about what
no,
it is
no
down here.
living room, no
It's
dining
all
room,
edge.
just
Said,
bedroom that you're able to
federal
have a
min
TV
wage
in.
is 7.25.
We
Yeah.
are the
Federal
kings
minimum
of
wage is
shields.
$7.25 depending on the state
Guard
you
the
live in.
king with our
I think
lives.
here it's
That's the way it's always
$7.25.
been. I've embraced
It
my
is,
duty.
yeah.
But those aren't meant to be
Livable
like,
wages,
people are
no.
living those, yeah,
Like
no,
grown
those are
adu-
meant to be like
Those
high
jobs
school
are,
kids
yeah,
and shit.
college and junior high or high school
It's my
kids,
job,
yeah.
So let me do it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But people are now expected to live on those wages as adults and like
We'll
get an
see.
apartment, and even that amount of money, if you multiply that times 40 hours a week, they can't even afford the rent alone, let alone the fucking electricity and everything that comes along with it.
Don't rush ahead on your own.
Hey, Gladio.
I mean,
Yeah,
do the
oh,
math.
Dad, huh?
It
See,
doesn't
most
add
people-
up.
Grateful to him.
Just
See,
do
most
your
people
job.
don't understand that when they increase the minimum wage, everything's going to go up to accommodate it. You know, the truck drivers that are delivering the goods and services, that's going to go up. You know, they're not just going to let prices, or they're not just going to let, you know, people make more money and then everything stay the same. That's
Well,
not gonna
wages
happen.
should
But
It should even out though. I mean, in an ideal world, it should even out to where, you know, at the very base level with inflation and food and everything else. Just forget about food. Fucking prices have
Mr. E
doubled since Biden
said,
got elected.
To rent
Like,
just a room is
you
going
know,
cost you
it should
400
go
to
up
500
with
a
everything
month.
else, but people are so worried about profits. They're like, nope, this is what we're at. This is where we're at, and people are willing to do it. So fuck them.
Yep. You know,
Tell
your
a friend of
gas is
mine went up to the grocery store the other day, and he was looking at the meats. One steak, I think it was a prime rib steak, but just one of those, and he said it was almost paper thin. $25 a pound
God.
for that stuff.
That's a lot.
What's gonna happen? Seriously, in all seriousness, you're gonna start seeing people commit more crimes. They're just gonna start stealing this stuff, and they're already making it legal in some states to just steal stuff already as it is, and they're not gonna prosecute you for misdemeanor crimes.
I know.
You've already seen that in Chicago and places like that. Like fuck, even like murder. Like they're letting you go without bail.
Yep.
And you commit crimes in Los Angeles, places like that. Like you rob a jewelry store, they'll just let you go without bail the next day.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, one thing people are going to do is they're going to eat. So they're not just going to, take this line down. They're going to start stealing this stuff. You're going to see theft and crime rise all over. Stealing beans and food, anything they can use to store rice, potatoes, meat. And when the government sits there and just allows it and regulates it to
Mr.
basically
E
not punish you,
said,
they're complacent
while
in it.
steak is expensive where you live, it's
So they
about
get out the
$5
next
a
day and then
pound
they go
here.
out and do it again.
Yeah.
So what gives them any, why am I gonna stay open if I'm a store owner if you allow people to keep coming in here and stealing my shit?
I'm here.
Now I'm in debt.
I mean, they're already trying to make it a crime for you to defend yourself against these people.
Oh yeah.
You
How
can't
many
even
people have
defend
you heard about?
yourself.
How many people have you heard about? How many stories have you seen, like diners, like when people come in and try to rob them, and they shoot somebody, and then they turn around and sue them, and then they have to pay the robber because they got shot? Like, wait a second.
Look at what happened down, I forget where it was, but this dude goes into a restaurant with a fake gun, pointing it at people. A customer had an actual gun, and he had a concealed carry license. Shot this kid dead, and yet he's on trial for murder now.
It's like that guy in New York that choked out that fucking dude on the subway, and they're charging him for murder. Yeah, well, in Texas, we're going the opposite way. Like, you don't even have to have concealed license anymore down here. You can open carry. And I tell you what, I haven't seen so much less crime down here than other cities, like in Corpus Christi.
Entered the chat.
But,
Welcome to the stream. JLM.
Because they know there's a lot of people out here with guns.
Wages are around $13 to
conceal it,
$17 by me already.
Whatever. You
Minimum
can't
wage
pull it
also
into
set to
certain
increase
places
to
like liquor
$11
stores
an
or
hour
something
by
like that.
2025 already in Michigan.
If I'm sitting at a diner,
Mr.
you
E
bet damn sure I got a gun on me. If you come in here and
we
try
had
to rob
guys
it
shoot a home
or stick a
intruder
gun in
who
my
had a
face,
gun,
I'm gonna shoot your
got
ass.
convicted of second
And
degree
down
murder.
here, I think we're all right.
Mr. E said. JLM signed up for horns.
Gladio, hurry!
That's why everybody's moving here.
JLM said.
Basically, like
But
having a bunch
it does
of
not help
unpaid
tipped
police
employees.
officers. You know. And guess what? There's less crime. Go figure.
Oops.
Where
I
you at,
fucked up.
MGTOW? I forget where you're at, MGTOW. Where you at?
God damn it.
Alabama?
Yeah.
back to Greenbow, Alabama. Forrest Gump. Y'all have open carry there?
Yeah. Yeah, in some places, yeah. For the most part.
Well, up here,
I'm
if you're
hitting the
not a
goddamn button.
hunter,
What the fuck?
then you're not allowed to own a weapon. And if you are a hunter and you own weapons, apparently you're only allowed owning bird shots. Nothing to kill moose, nothing to kill deer.
Do I need to
Bird
hold
shot.
it?
Bird shot. That's it.
So how do you hunt?
How do I
'Cause
hunt?
you get moose tags and deer tags.
Oh.
In Canada. If you get moose
Yeah.
tags and deer tags and stuff in Canada, how do you hunt if you're only allowed to have bird shot? You ain't gonna kill a moose or a deer with bird shot.
There is one weapon that they will allow you to
I just
use
learned something.
is a crossbow.
Not gonna take
JLM.
any more of this crap.
Really?
Said, I
Yep.
saw the video
You
with
need
fake
you
gun
need
guy
to own
vs
a
real gun
crossbow
guy.
with the proper
I don't
crossbow
think they
license
would have charged him except for the 2 excess shots
in
when
order
the guy
to
was already
use
on the
deer
ground.
and bear and all those other things with it.
JLM said,
That's messed up. So the
Just
only
my
thing you can really
opinion.
shoot is like rabbits and birds and shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
But one thing though is that if you already own those high-powered hunting rifles, you are allowed keeping them and using them if you want
said,
to.
we have coyotes packs here that go 20
But that's
plus
only
canine.
if you've owned
Good
them
luck
before
stopping
the
the
new
pack
law
with bird shot. LOL.
See, they're doing things opposite here. So now you can have the pistol, and they got this little, shit, I can't even remember what you call it. My
JLM
dad's got one.
said,
I would never use
bought
one for
myself a
pistol.
crossbow
Just have
some
a
years
rifle.
back.
Like I got an AR-15, but
Think those
Like,
Imperial soldiers just want to say
you basically you just put your pistol up inside of it, and it's got a stock on it, you know, like a rifle.
It's almost like an extension.
Yeah, it's just an extension of the pistol. But now they're making those illegal, and they're like, they say they're gonna start prosecuting people that have those, like, and it's a felony charge. And I'm like, wait a second, these were legal to buy last year, and now all of a sudden anybody that owns one, you're gonna start charging them with felonies? And it's still just a pistol. It's not, you know, like an AR-15 or whatever, and
JLM
flipping
said,
out about this.
how
And let's
big
get
do
this right,
coyotes
too.
get by weight?
AR does not stand for assault rifle.
No.
I'm sure MGTOW knows what it stands for. What does it stand for?
It's been a while.
We're all here.
But it's the name of the type of rifle. And I can't remember either, that's why I asked you.
I know it's something different, but and it's been a while since I've heard that thing.
Yeah. But what they say on like CNN and all these other things, like AR stands for assault rifle. No, that's not what it stands for. It stands
Get
for
your
the
doctor
type
to say you
of
have a
rifle
bag
that
back
it
and you
is.
can pull a compound bow
It
anymore.
doesn't stand for
That
assault
will
rifle.
get you crossbow license.
Well, I said this
JLM
on Brandon Troopwise stream,
said,
and I'm going to say it here.
Pistol stocks were
You know,
invented for
you
persons
should
with
not
disabilities,
have
such
a
as an
problem
amputee.
whatsoever with anybody defending themselves with a gun. You know, if you're not a
Mr. E
criminal yourself.
Said,
You have no
Armalite is
reason
what
to
they are
be
stands
afraid
14.
of somebody defending themselves unless you're a criminal. Unless you're somebody trying to steal what they've got. Now look who's afraid of so many people
Hey.
having guns.
I don't want to interrupt you, but Armalite. Remember, like Mr. E just, yeah, Armalite.
Yeah.
That's what AR stands for. But I'm sorry, continue.
You know, I don't have now. The discussion kind of got a little gray because you know we got into the types of people who might not be a good idea for them to have guns, like the mentally retarded and your cerebral palsy people, you know, the RLC people, right? People who have guardians.
JLM,
Which in that case, I
said,
believe the guardian or guardians
Armalite
have
rifle,
the right
correct.
to protect.
the one I carried while a Marine had been
Obviously
manufactured
children.
by Colt.
Still here.
You don't want a 5 or a 6-year-old getting a hold of a shotgun, not knowing what it's capable of.
What? What is it now? What is he doing?
And you don't want people out here who's
For the big one.
He's about to headbutt me.
but that's just the This is common sense, right?
Well, yeah, people that are mentally ill. Well, those are the people that go do school shootings and shit. Yeah, we get that.
Yeah, for the most part, most people, yeah, you should have the privilege to own a gun.
You spoke with her.
JLM.
That's why.
Protect
Said.
yourself.
Designed by Eugene Stoner,
You should be
I
able to
think.
protect yourself anyway.
Mr.
I
E
mean, you know,
said.
like I said, if you're not a
Point
criminal, I don't see
223
why
is
you would
a
have a
shit
problem
round.
with somebody
Buy
else
yourself
defending
a
their property
BAR
or their
that is an
family
odd
or
6 or
pets or
308.
whatever they deem valuable.
Well, that's where the problem with the Constitution comes in, is because the government doesn't want you to have any power at all. So the right to bear arms doesn't flow with their current state of how we run the nation. They want to control you every chance they can get. They don't want you to have bear arms. They don't want you to bear arms. They don't want you to protect yourself against the government because they want to have power over you. We're gonna turn into Cuba or fucking Venezuela if they keep it up. They want to rewrite the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sad, but
JLM
you know, I was
said.
Canada, man.
I
They
think
won't
a
let you have
Browning
anything
automatic
more than
rifle is
birdshot.
stock 3006. It's really heavy.
Yep. And you
You
have
can't
to.
even have a pistol for like home defense or anything like that.
Nope.
It's insane, man.
Trudeau's trying to abolish everything for weapons, but he's going against hunters, not the people that are robbing all the stores and stuff like that. He doesn't care about them, but he's going after the hunters only.
People
Because
robbing all the stores with pistols and everything like that, that's alright, but we're just gonna go against hunters and
yeah, we're going to go against the people that are able to survive off the land, that's able to feed their families when they go hunting. They don't have to go to the
JLM
grocery stores to
said.
get meat. They could
20
just go
pounds,
out in the
maybe.
bush and hunt it
Pretty
once
heavy
a
for
year.
most people to lug around all day.
Probably means you're going to create government jobs to go out there and hunt all the deer, and they're going to start mass producing, or, you know, what do they call it? Chattel breeding or whatever.
JLM
The deer.
said. My Savage Bolt action only
Sounds weird
weighed
to
like
me,
8
'cause I
pounds.
see a lot of shows on TV where, you know, people live in Canada and like, what do you call it? Where they're like way out there, homesteaders and stuff, and they're like way out there, and I see them hunting all the time, man. They got all kinds of badass rifles.
Yep. And that's another thing that Trudeau is trying to stop too, is being able to hunt
Mr.
off
E
your own property if you have
said.
a big enough property to go
My
hunting on.
B.A.R is about 81 pounds without it being loaded.
You have no
The
one
stock
else
is
living
carbon
around you.
fiber.
You have all these wild
JLM
animals coming
said.
onto your
Also
property.
3006.
So why can't they hunt on their own property?
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I know in my part of town, if you are a hunter and you do have your hunting rifles and stuff, if a bear goes onto your property, you cannot shoot it, even if it's attacking someone.
Oh wow.
It's a little different down here. We don't have too many bear, but like if anything that is protected, if it is attacking you, you have the right to kill it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that in a lot of states.
Mr.
There's only a
if
few. There's only a
said.
couple of like protected
My fave
animals
is my
here. One of
bolt
them's the
action
bald
point
eagle. The other
300
one is the
blackout.
state bird.
JLM
Yeah.
said.
And then the flower.
Is
You
that
can't
semi-auto,
technically
though?
pluck the bluebonnet, and if a cop
Oh, yeah,
sees you,
that's
you could technically be arrested.
They can, but they never enforce it. You could be driving down the highway and you can pull off and like. There's so many, so
Mr. E.
few highway patrolmen.
You're not even supposed to be walking
Yes, the
through
BAR
them.
is semi-auto.
But people try to take pictures in the fields and stuff, and they're like, "Oh my God, if you touch them, like it's a fucking bluebonnet. It's a flower. They grow here naturally, like."
Yeah.
But they're like, "Oh, if you pick this flower." But hey, at the same time, I passed up a cop going 95 miles an hour, and he didn't pull me over.
The government has had a hard on for
Must have been off duty.
not wanting you to touch naturally growing plants and herbs for a long time.
Nah, they want the market on all that. They want to control everything, which is essentially communism. State control is socialism, communism is government control.
But if you look at
State
certain
controls the
places,
means of
though.
productions, government controls the means of productions. Both are fucking shitty, but that's what we
cops
got.
aren't a bunch of government officials like.
It used to be for the
They're
people, but
assholes.
well,
But
nowadays,
you know they
yeah.
lean right.
But back in the day, it
They're
was
assholes
for the
JLM.
people. I mean, it just depends
Said,
on how you approach them. Some of
because
them,
they
yeah.
were
They're
select
assholes,
fire
but
like
they have to be. Like,
M16.
you gotta
Yeah.
think about
No
this.
pew,
Though.
one
If you're
pew,
a cop
all the pews
and
until
you approach
empty.
so
The
many
military
people a day, and
version's
some of
for.
them fucking shoot at you.
Yep. All it
Like,
takes is
you
one
gotta
person.
imagine, you just gotta assume that everybody you approach is gonna shoot at you. You know.
Yeah.
So, goddamn, they're just trying to protect themselves at the same time.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily have to be a dick. I mean, you could be.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes they're just
I've
real
met
fucking
some. I've met some.
narcissists.
Yeah, I've met some pretty cool cops, and then I've met some that are just like, wow, how'd you get a how?
See, the thing about the U.S., we're supposed to be set up to where the people control the government at all times. We are supposed to control the government at all times, and that hasn't happened for
Since
Oh, God.
1776.
we had all these privileges, and then certain people started giving away those privileges, and for a little bit of extra protection, and
Money.
here we go.
You know, me and True Blood got into this discussion the other day, and I'm like, this is what it is. I mean, we're supposed to.
Where does that leave us?
And then he was like, well, you know, you don't vote. You know you're supposed to vote. And I'm like,
In the meantime,
well, how can you vote in a rigged system if
Look, it's Umbra.
he said, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain about the stuff going on. I'm like, I don't agree with that.
I mean,
If
to
you
a
went and stuffed a
degree,
ballot box, if you went and stuffed a
JLM
ballot box with 500 votes full of fucking
I'm not
Trump,
sure I call
they'd
legally by a
arrest you.
shotgun or rifle.
But other
And if
people
that
can
is
do
true,
it
no way
with
I can
video
get a
proof.
pistol and concealed
Nah, it's
permit.
okay. It never happened.
Mr. E.
videos
said,
of people burning
They
ballots
make
and
public
shit.
semi-auto versions.
I
Kinda
have always
spendy.
disagreed
The furniture
with
is
the,
carbon
if you don't
fiber
vote,
instead
you
of
can't say
wood.
anything.
You also
And
got to convert it to take
flawed
a bigger
me.
mag.
That
The mag
makes no
it starts
sense.
with only holds 4
To a
rounds.
My mom does
degree,
that shit.
yes and no. This is how I see it. Like, if you don't vote,
Gentiana.
then you miss your chance of having a say in what goes on.
By the storm sender's blessing,
You left it in other people's hands
innocent.
the
to
oracle
do it for you,
goes hence
essentially.
in her king's name.
Luna.
You
Therefore,
can,
you
kinda
kind
get
of
it.
gave
Where
up
is she now?
your.
The eye of the storm.
Like, you can still complain,
When the
but
covenant is
What's
formed,
up, Riggs?
it's essentially
oracle and
moot.
ring shall await
There's a
their
dirty
king
rigger
Wild.
in
at the
here.
walls of
Riggs
water.
Jr.
you
Oh,
get
entered
on
the
you
chat.
get on
Welcome to
social
the
media,
stream.
you get on your smart
Riggs
device, you can
Jr.
complain
Said,
and make your
Evening,
case
y'all.
that way. I mean, voting
Mr.
right
E.
now is a no-go.
Said,
It won't change a
Riggs
thing
sign
right now
of
the
the
way it
horns.
sits. Voting
Crystal
only
Kitten.
works when it's
For real?
100% transparent.
Hi, Riggs.
Beyond real now,
When
JLM.
look, this is
Said,
the analogy that I
Also,
give.
in Michigan,
All right,
martial artists
If you
are
have
supposed to
100
register
people
with the
voting for
state.
something,
Pretty
no
tyrannical
matter how many
and stupid,
candidates it is,
in my
whatever it
opinion.
is,
At
the
Mike Carrier,
transparency
said,
ought to be all 100 people
Riggs.
knows how all 100 people voted. That's transparency. We don't have that in these elections. We never have.
a wild,
If you notice, people
Binkus.
get pissed off when you ask
entered
them
the
who
chat.
they voted for.
Welcome to the stream.
Oh, you voted for such.
Binkus.
No, I'm not going to tell you who I
Said,
voted for. That's my.
You can kick
that's
their ass
my
and that's
right.
not even legal, lol.
We don't
JLM
have a system
said,
where we have a transparent
Riggs,
election.
Mike Carrier
What's up,
waving hand.
Bingus? How you doing, buddy?
Crystal Kitten. Said,
If okay, so
Hi,
say
Bunkus.
if all
Riggs
how many
Jr.
people are in the United States right
Said,
now?
Mr.
370
E.
million,
Kitten,
something like
hello,
that.
y'all. Busier
Right,
than a
probably
one-legged
400
IHOP
with all the
waitress
fucking
tonight.
illegal immigrants.
Day shift left me up
Yeah.
shit creek without a paddle.
It needs to be
Mr. E.
370
Said.
million people knowing how
Bingus
all
sign
other
of the horn.
370 million
belongs
people
to
voted.
everyone.
Crystal Kid
How come only Lucius
Said.
Now,
gets to use it?
realistically,
sorry,
in most
grinning,
elections,
squinting
you don't
face.
have but what, about
Riggs Jr.
70, 80,
They all
90,000
said-
or million
Wait,
people voting?
JLM07.
So my dad's
Carrier what up
guarding it?
nerd.
Yes.
Bingus.
I had no
Said.
idea.
Talking about
Chaos.
full
Mr.
population
E.
voting
At Mike
age.
Carrier. Said.
And keeping the crystal
Yo,
safe
nerd.
until that
Probably
day
half.
falls to the
Yeah,
line
I would
of
say
Lucis.
probably what about
And
100?
I'm the chosen.
Half.
JLM.
Yes, only the
100 to
chosen
150 maybe.
Bunghole
Anointed
Bingus.
by the
But
crystal
actually
LOL.
vote.
can purge our
So if
stars.
all
You know,
of
not
those
including dead people. You gotta figure.
Really
something.
think I can do that?
As
In other
oracle,
words,
I will see to
in
it.
other words, you would have to have a way
Curate
to
the
know how
king
everybody voted.
is the
And they'd have
oracle's
to know how
calling.
you voted.
Then
You don't have that. And you can't trust
guess I
the
can do it.
media to put out a
I
list
won't
because
let you down.
they could
Bingus.
change all these votes easily.
Said. JLM yet
You
I
can't
guess
trust the
LOL.
George Soros machines, and
Yeah.
you know that's why we should go back to paper
To follow
ballots.
the words is to follow the
They're too lazy to count them.
But then
I
they want to
told
have
True
paper.
Blood.
Heaven and earth
Yeah,
it
fuck.
strikes,
But they can
the
count
storms
paper
ephemeral
ballots
return.
faster than they could do it on the other ones. Like, remember, like Michigan, man. Like, we had that shit. When I went to sleep, it was like 870,000 Trump, and it was like 400,000 fucking Biden. And then they said, okay, we're gonna stop counting. And then when I woke up in the morning, all of a sudden it was like, oh, Biden's ahead by 200,000. I was like, wait a second, you stopped counting, but all of a sudden when you start
JLM.
counting again, he's up
Said.
by
That was almost
200,000
up
votes.
there with Paulsic Bob.
Like, is that not some crooked shit?
Yeah.
In the meantime, head into the
Come on, man.
Anybody with two brain cells to rub together knows that that was a fraudulent election.
That's a problem.
And there
Nobody
was-
has any brain cells anymore.
If the
Look how-
potential was there to cheat, it happened, plain and simple, and it did happen, and we've seen ample evidence of it happening. We've
In
seen
Arizona,
people,
too.
yeah, we've seen people. I've seen video after video of people signing ballots. One person signing ballots and putting it on one side or the other. I've seen that. Those videos
Stuffing
got
ballot
destroyed from
boxes.
the internet.
And stuffing ballot boxes and fucking this and that. Like, dude. But nope, that's alright.
And I
Same
saw.
thing happened with, what's that, Kerry Lake and all that other bullshit there. Like,
Well,
That
look
was
at
a-
what happened with Trudeau. The only reason why he was voted back in is because he signed up with the NDP, where their votes counted towards him.
See, that's crooked.
bullshit.
That is
That's the-
crooked as the day is long.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And before he did that, he made it legal for them to be able to do that.
Yeah, they always gotta.
Riggs
Dude, they're
Jr.
some tricky little bastards.
Said.
Look,
Watching
there
the
have been
ballot
people
harvesting,
who have
I'm done
gone on
voting.
trial
It don't mean
for
anything when
fraudulent
they can
voting
drown you out
machines.
with
It
fake
happens
ballots.
all the time in every
JLM.
election.
Said.
They have
Never
machines
Detroit
that
and
will
Flint
pick
flipped
votes.
Michigan. They cheated. It's still being fought
These
out in
are a
courts
thing.
to this day.
They never
Zero
get
news
prosecuted.
coverage, however. Mr. E.
So you don't
said,
have a
The
system
issue was
where
Democrat
voting
voters
can
voted
be
early
done
and by
safely,
mail,
and that's what I
so they
tried to
were
get through to Brandon,
pre-counted.
but he wouldn't hear it.
Republicans did the
And I
day
understand
of.
where he's
No
coming
way
from,
Democrats
But that
searched
only
at the
works
end.
if you have a fair and balanced electoral system that you have no room for cheating whatsoever to occur in. With what we've got now, you have ample, unlimited opportunities to cheat and fraudulent the votes.
Yep.
And it happens.
Chop, chop, Prompto.
It's not
And
a
the people
trustworthy
that govern
system.
it are in control. So how do you stop it?
That's the
Oh, this-
question.
One episode of The Simpsons showed it. It's like Homer was trying to vote for one, and his vote kept getting switched over to the other one that he wasn't voting for.
Hmm. That's how it
And-
actually happened.
Dominion did all that. And then they sued Fox because Fox put out a hit piece on them. And Fox ended up losing.
First Titan, now Rama.
Now here's the conundrum here. The system's already rigged either way. No matter who goes in, their person's going in either way. Why are they rigging an already rigged election system?
WTF,
Chaos,
are
how
you
come you
writing
look like you're
LOL?
riding a turkey?
I'm riding a
JLM
chocobo.
Was that Georgia where they pulled out boxes of custom boxes
It looks like
from
a
under the
turkey.
tables and ran those same boxes over and
Giant
over?
turkey.
Chocobos are the shit.
I mean, seriously, if they're going to get the person in that they want anyway because they control both
Riggs
parties,
Jr.
why are they rigging an already
said,
rigged electoral system
"Yeah."
in the first place?
You know
Because
what I
good
mean?
job.
Distractions.
Well, remember when it was supposed to be
JLM
Republicans and Democrats in the same place
"Fancy
counting
chickens."
ballots and stuff, but they took all the Republican officials out, and then they like put newspapers and shit all over the windows, and then just started doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. Like, come on, man. And this
Dingus
stuff was posted on the
said,
news, but you know,
But there was giant spider on
Come
my
on
lap.
now, you know.
WTF.
people
I
don't
almost
give a
clapped
shit.
my nuts.
They don't care. They're watching Twitter, fucking TikTok, and all this other shit, and they have short-term memories. They don't give a shit, and that's a problem. They're gonna give a shit when,
JLM
you know,
said,
when gas prices
Chicken
start rising
chocobos.
and all this and
Y'all
everything else.
chocobo
And they're like,
chokers.
even then, they're like, nope, it's better for the country. I'm like, really? What's it better for?
And I
Riggs
said
Jr.
this, and I'm gonna stand
said,
by it.
Looks
Look,
like Chaos is
these
riding
people
a cock
didn't get
rooster.
mad at these trans folks until it started affecting them personally, aka their
Mr. E
children. And they have
said,
every right to.
That gives
But
a whole
why
new
did it
meaning
come
to
to
slap
that
and tickle
before
LOL.
people had to start waking up and, you know, taking action?
No,
People are
even the
not.
Olympics,
We'll meet again.
like, started banning fucking trans people, you know?
Yep.
Like, we got to go that far?
And look, I don't wish harm on these people for the most part. It's the people who are trying to go after the kids I don't like. You know, I have nothing for them. You know,
I don't wish harm on them. I don't want them to fuck up other people's lives, man. When you
JLM
got women that have been
said,
competing since junior
Don't
high,
bitch
high
slap
school,
your own nuts.
college,
Just a suggestion.
and
Ah,
now
the
you're
young
just
prince is recovering
slamming all their records and taking everything away. They've like,
Gentiana.
isn't
Riggs
this
Jr.
feminism? Like,
said,
The prince has
anti-feminism?
well,
raised
Canada
their
did
kind.
legalize
you're
bestiality.
taking everything
USA
away from
ain't
them.
far
You're like
behind.
fucking Michael
I see
Phelps, and
chicks
you're
selling
jumping in the
dog
pool,
content.
or
But
you're fucking doing
I only
something.
know
Like,
what
you're
Luna
just
told
taking
me.
everything away from all these women that have worked so hard to do this shit.
yeah,
Like, isn't this
Luna
what we're trying to
for-
achieve? Like, isn't
Luna,
this
it is
a
heartening
form of
to see the
feminism?
future
Like,
king
getting the
and
transgender
Oracle
people
enjoy
out of here?
such familiar-
That's a fucking.
Well,
The fate
that
of our world
the
may depend
the
on
woman swimmer that was talking against
remember.
that
Leah
the
Thompson.
trans swimmer.
Thompson or whatever?
Leah
Well,
Thomas
he was
was the trans.
Or Thompson or whatever the fuck her name is. His name is.
But yeah,
The
but
thing-
the girl that he beat, she was at a college and she was talking about trans not being that should not be allowed in women's sports. She
Everybody
wound up
started.
getting mobbed by those students, and she was sent to the hospital because they
That's
beat the shit out
bullshit.
of her.
She got
That's
sucker
bullshit.
punched.
Mr. E
and yeah, they beat the
said,
shit out of her.
John Adams
They
didn't
about
want
him
to give the
guy that
common the
gets in
right to
there like
vote.
Michael
Even
Phelps,
he knew
and like
plebs
she's
would
just
vote their rights
slamming the
away.
fucking
Founder
records.
of the Liberal
And,
Party
like, she worked her whole fucking life for this shit. Women's sports should
Mr.
be
E
women's fucking sports.
said,
You know what I mean?
Common man
Here's the
asterisk.
thing. Like, the
Yeah.
thing about feminism. Thing about feminism you have to understand is and this is what they'll never tell you. Feminists deep down don't like these trans people. Why? Because feminists are mostly made up of who? Women. And women for the most part are self-centered, right? Or most of them.
Oh, angry bitter
Oh,
lesbians.
They don't. So by nature, they don't like sharing the spotlight. And now you have trans people coming in and stealing their spotlight, and they can't do anything about it because they've preached equalities for so long. They're backed into a corner and they can't admit it.
They
See, they don't
created a
like these trans
monster.
people.
Riggs
They
Jr.
don't like these trans
said,
people coming in and
"You
taking
shouldn't be
over,
able to
you know,
vote
all the
unless you're a
representation
landowner.
and getting all the
You
attention.
vote very differently when you
know,
got skin in
they're
the
having
game."
to share the spotlight, and they
Bingus
don't like that. Remember,
said,
feminists
"I'm
by
really
their
not
very
having a
nature
good
are
day today.
self-centered, right?
Next door
But
neighbor's
now,
high
you
school
understand
lesbo
that
daughter
we're
thought
fucked
it'd be
either
funny
way.
to open my door and
So,
run down the stairs.
if we don't,
I told the
if
parents
we
and
don't
they're just as
support
bad."
the
Bingus
man
said,
that's beating all the women
"I'm thinking
in
of what
women's
to do."
sports, or you know, or we don't support the woman that's speaking out against it, we're fucked either way, man. Like, there's a no-win situation here. It's a zero-sum game, you know.
And this is one of those loopholes that's now beginning to exploit itself with all of these ideologies clashing, and they don't like it. And, you know, in their mind, they don't know what to do because in the public's eye, they can't go back on supporting equality. It would mean that their message is null and void at that point if they'd come out and actually told us what they felt about
Riggs
trans
Jr.
people. So they don't.
said,
They're forced to
She
share the
wants
spotlight.
D.
What really
Be careful, Bingus.
is
They can revoke
equality,
consent after the
though?
fact these days.
I'm just
Mr.
going
E
by their definition.
said, "Landowner
Like,
or
it's not
part of the
50-50
military, Peace
clearly.
Corps or
Like, let's
something
be
like
held
that.
accountable for our
You gotta have
actions would
skin
be
in the game to
equality.
have a voice."
Like, hey, if you're a
Bingus
man and you hit a woman,
said,
guess what? You're going
"I
to
want to
fucking
kick the
jail.
parents'
If you're a
ass, but
woman and
that's
you hit a
illegal, and
man,
if I call the
oh,
cops,
you're
they
not
would
going
be
to
like,
jail.
where's the proof?"
That's that's equality.
Yeah, is that equality? Because I'll tell you
that
what,
sure
if you're a woman
sounds like
and you
it.
fucking punch me in the face, guess what? You want equality? I'm gonna fucking
said,
hit you back, motherfucker.
"California is
Nobody should fucking
Riggs
touch anybody else.
Jr.
Nobody should put their hands on anybody else, guys. If you put your hand on somebody else, then there's a fucking line. Us as men know that we don't cross. If we cross, there's a chance of a physical fucking altercation. If you do that as a woman or a man, you should have the same fucking thing. Period. End of story.
Oh, well, here's the thing.
Oh, what's up, Father Saunders?
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
Saunders, your shit's loud as hell.
Wow, I gotta turn you down a little bit. Ooh.
Here's another loophole for your mind to process. Think about this.
There we go.
Why? Most of these people can't define what women are, right? And most of these trans people don't identify. So why is it still wrong
Mr.
to
E.
punch them as a woman?
said, "Saunders sign of the horn."
If
Riggs
punches
Jr.
me in the face,
said,
I'm gonna punch her back.
"Start putting up
You're
cameras
trying to argue
and collect
logic
said evidence."
people who are illogical. You're trying to argue sensical with the nonsensical. They will sway it anyway to make you wrong, even though you're right. Does that make sense?
You think you're pretty tough, huh?
Hear anything? It's all distorted.
Up is down, down
It
is right.
kind of sounds like you're talking into a can.
It sounds like a monkey farting in the
Said.
milk jug.
Yet I should have been a first place
What
Riggs.
the fuck? I've never heard that one before. God damn.
Yeah, see, that's what I sound like, is a monkey fart into a can.
That's what he said. I said it just sounds like you're talking into a can. He went all fucking primate and shit.
It's just a little loud. Is all I'm saying. It's distorted. It sounds like I'm trying to order tacos at a Mexican food restaurant and their shit's all broke.
Let me make it clear. I don't advocate for the
Jr.
violence of man
said,
or woman.
"One
I
outside
don't
your
believe
door,
you
one
put your
aimed at
hands
the
on
door
people
on
in
the
the
inside
first place.
minimum."
No.
Neither.
If we're going to play their logic against them, and they can't identify a woman, how come they suddenly know what one is when you start punching them and beating the shit out of them?
Yeah, but you can't hit them back because, that's taboo. I'm like, look, if you're beating on me, hey, I'm going to protect myself, but I can't protect myself because you're a woman, so I should allow you just to go ahead and beat the shit out of me? No. If you're going to fucking, like, if you pull a gun on me, and you're going to shoot me in the fucking head, am I not allowed to fucking protect myself and fucking shoot you back?
Nope, you better get on your knees and say, "Please, master. Please, master. Put me out of my misery, because I'm a white supremacist."
Because despite what they say, it's displaying
Oh my
quite
God.
the opposite. What everybody already knows. You know, they know that they're the weaker of the two genders.
Riggs Jr.
You know, you
said,
have to be able to
"It's
decode a lot of this
2023. We are
nonsense
equal
to
rights,
see
so now
through
these
it.
hands are rated E for
Because this is
everyone."
the narrative. Of course, not going to. If you take, okay, guys, even though I know I don't look that, I'm 6 foot tall and 195 pounds. If you take a woman,
Dude,
See, when
are
you
you in
decode a lot
space?
of what
What's happening, Sanders? You're in space?
no, I'm in space. A lot of time I give you just an example here. Let me talk.
Probably got her phone on silent.
So if I'm 195, if you take a 5'5", 120-pound woman, do you think she's gonna fucking throw me around like a rag doll?
No.
Grabs you by the nuts, maybe.
A while.
Two things, guys. Hold on.
The
Before you
spearman.
critique this, let me
Enter
add
the
two
chat.
things.
Welcome to the stream.
Not only is she not going to throw me around
Just
like
said,
a
don't give up on ghosts
also a
and
boxer, a
goblins.
weightlifter, and a combat veteran. What do you think her chances of a 5'2", 120-pound woman's going to throw me around like a fucking rag?
Probably not too good.
Crystal
Yeah,
Kid
think about it for a second.
said, have a good night, Chaos and everyone.
Think for a second. Catch 'em, guys. Come on.
Take it easy, kitten.
https://
You can't do that shit, man. Or even a fucking superhero movie. You can't do that. This little 5'5", fucking pound person is going to throw around fucking full-grown men who are fully trained. Are you out of your fucking mind? Is smacking nothing.
Yeah.
I can't even suspend my disbelief. I can't do it.
At Mike
Not gonna-
Carrier said,
All
Bye,
I'm
kitten.
saying, man, I've only put my
JLM
hands on a woman one time.
said,
One time
play
in my
Goblin
life.
Hunter yet,
And
Chaos.
unfortunately, it wasn't
A
my
wild.
ex-wife.
Mutao Outlaw
But
entered the
dude,
chat.
I was sitting
Welcome
down.
to
I
the
was
stream.
sitting down, dude,
I
eating a
can't
fucking
say I
breakfast taco,
have.
Said,
and she fucking
ya,
just
kitten.
slammed a
Mr. E.
fucking breakfast taco right in my fucking face like a
Later's
little
kitten
bitch.
sign of the horns.
Like she slapped me with a breakfast taco. Because I didn't want to go to the park with her. I stood up and I smacked her back. I was like, "How do you like that? How does that feel?"
I'm
'Cause,
so
like,
sorry.
you did it to me. Is,
You said it was very fun. When you said it was fun.
See, you know, when you decode feminism and you break it all down, it's actually an acknowledgement, a subconscious acknowledgement of the fact that they're the weaker of the two sexes. They just use it to their advantage however they can. That's really all I mean, it's in the word feminism.
if a man had done what she had done to me, I would have fucking I would have fucking waylaid his ass. But I was nice, you know, just an open hand, kind of. How do you like it, motherfucker?
Well, that's the thing. I was told discipline and correction.
Binkus.
The back end,
You
the
learned that in
back side of the
When I was in
hand
high
is
school that just came from
discipline.
Russia suplexed this furry
The
for
palm
going carry
side
on
is
him, LOL.
correction.
Fried rice.
She get out the
Yeah,
pocket, pop, backhand, keep it in check. When she get lippy, pop, you get palm side of hand, keep it in check.
Yeah, well, I also saw the A-Team where it was pity and the fool. You know?
Oh, you put me in the pool, huh?
I gave her the pity. She's lucky she didn't get the fool.
You know what? Contradiction? Man.
Guess what? I never did that shit again.
You guys are my age, you know what the fuck that reference was to.
What was the
18.
reference? 18? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that was Rocky 3. What's wrong with you guys? My prediction? Look it up. Rocky 3 right now. My prediction came, put it in the YouTube search bar, look it up.
I don't even hear what you're saying because your shit's all distorted.
I can make it out, sort of, but it gets jarbled really quick. For a second there, it was coming in really, really clearly.
After Rama, we go see Leviathan, right? Indeed.
I don't know how to correct.
You gotta check your microphone, Saunders. I
Are
think
you using-
it's really distorted.
Are you using the laptop mic, or are you using a headset?
Yes, what do I need to do? Can you guys direct me? Do I need to fucking...
You got a headset? Did
I do have a headset.
Try plugging it in, see if that makes a difference.
If this doesn't work, I'm gonna fuck you in your ear.
I mean...
God damn. You went right there.
Can't do much fucking, because I'm already fucked in the head.
weren't there. I went there. Hold on. Where's the audio jack on this bitch? This is new PC, guys, because I
remember
I
you gotta lick it before you stick
Rick's
it.
Jr. said.
You got to lick it
Flanders
before you
Okay, can you drag me?
said, I fought my sister when I was younger, but she was
Guided
bigger
in
and
the
older than
hole.
me at the time.
Make
Other
sure
than
to
that, never
swirl it
did
around the
step
tip a
hoe.
little bit.
No,
Then
I
stick
hear
it in
you.
about halfway, then pull it out, and then stick it back in about halfway,
JLM
and pull it out,
said,
and then shove it all the way
I'm tired
in.
of looking at dudes' asses
Yeah,
in
so
this
I'll
game.
Let's
Are
have it
you
all the
sure
way.
this isn't for the
that
gay?
slot.
Never go balls deep the first time. You gotta tease them a little bit.
You can't do the 10 dick. If you do the 10 dick, you're gonna have a fucking stalker on your head.
Just a tip, man.
Just a tip. Just a fucking tip. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Radio jack plugged in. Do I need to
Put the headset on,
Bro.
and then you'll need to go into your mic settings and have it set up to where it's picking up the mic.
Mic set.
Or your headset, I should say.
You guys are trying to make me think after drinking. This is not. This is not a normal thing. Mic settings. Can I go to that in my Windows settings? Go to search mic settings.
No, it would be. Hold on, let me pause this real quick. Okay, so what you're gonna do? All right, so you're gonna. So if you're
JLM
looking at your
said,
screen and everything, you'll
Bingus
see a
joined the
disconnect
SlipAOE
button,
tribe young.
a mute
Noise.
thing, a share your screen, and all that.
At
so
Mike Carrier
on the on the mute part,
LOL Bingus.
you're gonna click that little down
Polska
thing,
Bob
and it'll bring up a
said,
drop-down menu with
Sorry,
all
Chaos,
your
I'm going live.
all your things, and then you find whatever headset it is that you have on, and then it should, hopefully it's plug and play, and you won't have to do anything.
Can you give me a tab? Is there a tab on that?
Well, keep talking.
I'm under user settings right now. Is there a tab I can go to?
At Mike Carrier.
That's actually sounding a
said,
lot better.
Do your thing, Bob. Later.
Sound a lot better?
Yeah, that sounded a lot better.
Okay, well I haven't adjusted anything. So if I sound a lot better, I don't want to fuck with nothing. Can you guys hear me good?
I hear you pretty well, sir.
Okay, what about everybody else?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. I can hear you now. It didn't sound like the monkey.
I'm not gonna fuck with I'm not gonna fuck with any setting.
Rick's Jr. said,
We fuck with
Bingus,
settings,
I
guys.
figured you'd
Okay,
like man
now
ass
what
LOL
did you guys want to talk about?
3 fascination with gush gush and all.
Whatever you
Polska
guys
Bob
want to talk about, I'm free game.
said,
Sounds like Pulse
I
is
gotta
fixing
play
to go
tunes.
live. Oh, do you want some music, Polska? I'll play some music. You ain't gotta go live.
Polska, he wanted me to go live with him last night. I said I gotta
thought-
take a range.
I thought you was gonna join up in here, Polska. What the hell?
Yeah, Polska.
My oldest boy was here last night. My mom was here last night. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a raid check on that one.
Pick a topic, Sandra. We'll talk about it. We'll chop it up.
You got artists fucking my shit outlaw. I know I've seen it.
Okay.
You gotta see this.
So
I'm like,
it's
talking about, oh, your live stream. Like, how do you know
doing
about
it
live stream?
again.
Wait, what?
It's doing the sounding like he's talking into a can again.
God dang it.
Yeah, pick a topic. We'll chop it up.
He might have a can. It might be on the end of his cell phone. It might just be like a can with a little string tied to it.
I don't put the strings through cans anymore. We're good. We've evolved from there.
That's Army technology. Cans with strings.
DARPA's responsible for fucking internet. You guys better be thankful, motherfucker.
The dead can wait.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Pick a topic.
Fuck you guys. I'm phone number. You better fucking recognize this shit.
It's funny. I can see him walking around on YouTube, but I can't see him walking around on a Discord.
Who's YouTube going on?
Yeah, because I'm not sharing through the Discord, because it kind of defeats the purpose.
I'm on YouTube, man. It's got a reputation to keep fucking canceling right now, dude.
And if you're trying to maintain a reputation, you're in the wrong place, sir.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to fucking keep that. I'm telling you guys, if you got a reputation to keep, you want to let go of Father Saunders right now.
Oh no, I'm the one that's causing the reputations to go in the shitter.
Oh, go ahead.
The subscriber
My
tonight.
new coming here would chill me out.
He was at 457, now he's at 450.
Go ahead, Saunders. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Outlaw?
Pick a topic, we'll chop it up. Maybe you guys want to talk about it. Pretty sure all this political stuff gets boring.
Let's talk about. Oh, this is gonna be really controversial. Let's talk about generational differences. Let's do that one.
Oh.
Generational differences?
Alright.
Yeah.
About being a boomer versus like a Gen Z versus Gen X or whatever.
Boomer, millennial, or Gen Z. Let's talk about that. How about that? Unless you guys got something.
Yeah, your audio is all fucked up, bro. We can't even hear you anymore.
But dang it, man. How the fuck do I fuck this shit? All these fucking people who are on Gen Alpha fucking educate me, don't humiliate me. But how do I fix it?
Well, is that a PlayStation headset or is it like a PC headset? Oh. I don't know if it's gonna register.
Okay, so if I
hold on.
this,
Did it come with a USB thing?
well, I have a audio jack. This is my newest PC right now because I fell asleep while I last Saturday. You guys got me drunk as fuck,
Mr. E.
and I fucking broke my last piece.
So it's
I
a male
rant about
adapter.
boomers and millennials all day. LOL.
Say that again.
It's a male adapter. You have to stick the penis in the slot.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have to stick it right in your ass, dude.
Whoa.
So
I can take that out, and we can have audio through another means.
Dingus.
But right now I'm talking in a
Said.
headset with the
He put his pinky up face with tears of joy.
fucking audio adapter.
Hey, wait, what is a boomer? What is a boom like?
I was raised by
Works. What's a boomer?
Okay.
a boomer is the generation right after the greatest generation, like from was it the 1940s or 1950s?
Okay, were they the greatest generation? The ones that smoked cigarettes and like just degraded their children and ignored them and everything like that. So
generation and my mama's boomer generation. I'm Gen X generation. So, which years you guys want to identify?
what are we? So we're both the same age. What are we?
Okay, so 44. I was born in '79. So if you go from 65 to 81, that is Generation X, from what I understand. 65 to 81. So if you go from 65 to 81, you want to understand your Gen X.
So
82 to like 97 is millennial, and then 97 to like 2012 is Gen Z, and then Gen Alpha afterwards. We haven't got there. That's what I understand.
Wait, Nick, when were you born?
I think it's the weapons that are causing me to lose health.
Mr. E.
So,
said,
first thing I'll say,
I'm Gen X.
every generation
I'm the
has its
whatever
good and has its
generation.
bad.
I don't care. Just
Obviously, you
take
can
care
learn
of your
something
shit.
from every generation, but not
Bingus.
everything
Said,
about every generation
I'm
is
starting to
good.
feel wrong having a pink
Like you
mustache
guys
as my
said,
name
obviously,
nowadays.
most of the parents from one of those generations, I think you said the greatest, they had issues with disciplining their children, going too far, obviously.
I'm a product of that.
I apologize for all Gen X for the Karens. My bad.
Your Gen
Discipline or
Xers
just
are kind of
ignoring
more,
them.
your Gen Xers are kind of more of that age to where they come like after the hippie generation, but they were still trying to find themselves. The millennials obviously were some of the most dumbasses out here, and it just progressively gets worse after millennials. So I mean, you have your good, you have your bad.
I'm right on the edge, I guess, because I was born in '81, so I'm right on the edge of, I guess, Gen X or millennial or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But definitely didn't grow up millennial. You know.
Each generation tries to define themselves separately from the last. You know, trying to rebel in their own unique way. You know, so for the boomers, they rebelled with you know, obviously Woodstock and the hippie era. Then you Gen Xers, you
Shrinking,
guys,
ignoring their children.
yeah. So you Gen Xers, you guys rebelled like through the rock music, heavy metal, that sort of thing. My generation rebelled against them through the dawn of the technological age with grunge and emo and punk rock and all that. And then the generation afterwards, of course, they're the cell phone generation, so they're trying to get away from our generation with more modern technology. You know,
Yeah.
I've been
It's
on
the
the
same.
phone constantly. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, my
progression.
daughter is like 18 years old, but like, fuck, she was born in 2005. That's, I think, when the smartphones came out.
They came out in 07.
So, like, yeah,
07.
I think it might, well, I don't know, but it was close enough. Like, she was born in 05, but she grew up with like smartphones and shit. We never had that. I had dial-up phones and shit when I was growing up.
Dingus.
You know what I
The
mean?
rotary phone
I
was
didn't
still
get
a
a phone
thing,
until
and
I was
then
17.
they came out with the push
Yeah.
button.
And if you fucked up, you had to like
You
go
had to
back
hang
and
up and
like,
start
Yeah.
all over.
My age, man, because if you fucking dial something on a rotary phone, if you fucked up, it took a whole minute to dial that fucking number.
yeah, and then remember it used to cost like fucking 10 or 20 cents a fucking minute, like to fucking make like long distance
Long
calls.
distance. So when you had a corded phone or a cordless phone, we have what's called long distance. Anything over 25 to 30 miles was long distance. So even if you had a cordless phone, you could go outside and talk on your phone. You're like, this is the greatest fucking thing ever, but it costs fucking extra additional every minute. You guys remember when and where to collect?
They don't even have payphones outside of like convenience stores and shit anymore. Like you can't
Yeah,
find. Remember you used to like have
Mr. E
payphones? They don't have
said,
those anymore.
I
No,
remember
when I was
caller
growing up, we
ID
had
and
payphones even
pagers
in my
were a
small
new
town.
thing, lol.
Yeah, everywhere, man. You used to have like we still had like phone booths and shit, but like now you don't even have payphones like outside of a fucking convenience store. Remember, it used to be at least one, right?
Yep.
Now you don't even have that anymore.
Dial 911 in case of emergency or whatever the fuck that was back in the day. You guys remember that shit? Yeah, we used to have payphones way back in the day. Well, back in the day, we also had arcade fucking where you would go and pay quarters to play fucking pinball machines and fucking arcade games. You guys remember that shit?
Yeah.
Fucked up, man.
Every generation.
Kids don't understand though. I try to explain it to my daughter, and she just doesn't get it because she grew up with a fucking like smartphone.
Yeah.
And I know she just turned 18, but she doesn't get it, man. Like, we didn't have unlimited calling at the tip of our fingertips and unlimited knowledge. Like if we needed to go find some, we had to go to a fucking library or you know, or shit like that. Now they don't even have libraries anymore. Like
the reason that every generation rebels is because nobody likes authority.
Let's grab just
Plain and simple. Nobody likes authority.
Nobody likes change either.
Yeah, so they try to find themselves, you know, in each generation, and it's just the cycle of life. It continues over and over, and it'll continue.
problem with
you know, that's
technology, at the tip of your fingertips, where you can Google anything you want, but you realize that or you don't realize who's Googling this shit, that they're just feeding you false information when you're fucking trying to find out facts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Used to, you learned from your parents, or from the fucking library, or from the news, when the news was actually the news, 20, 30 years ago.
When they asked who,
now,
when, where,
it's all
why,
cool.
and how.
Yep. So I don't look at it as, one generation was greater than the next. I look at it like, what can I learn from each generation? What can I take away from it? What was the good? What was the bad? It's a balance, right?
I remember pagers too, Mr. E. I remember I had a pager when I was 16, 17. I thought I was hot shit.
You guys, you're showing your fucking age, motherfucker.
Remember when you would like page somebody, but you would put letters like or numbers as letters and like just send them a message? Not really. That was old school texting.
That's a fucking different lifetime, motherfuckers.
That was old school texting, man. That's how we did it. And
That
then you
was
still
old
had
school. We got a fucking sack of fucking weed for you, man, back in the 90s. Holy shit, we got weed? You gotta go find
yeah,
that shit.
right. 333 would come by and pick up your weed, bro.
Nowadays, you go to the next state that's over, be like, oh, we sell it legally here. Oh, fuck. Well, this is a little bit different from when I was growing up. God damn, why didn't they have this going on in back in the 80s and 90s?
However, do you remember Star 69?
Oh yeah.
69, let you know who called you last. If
Yeah,
you guys
whoever called you last, hit Star 69 and you could call him back.
Stop saying fuck call me last, you motherfuckers. I'm gonna find who the fuck you are. You can't do that shit nowadays.
However,
funny.
this is
I
where
don't think it works anymore.
This is where I heavily agree with Saunders because I believe humanity's already peaked and we're starting to fall.
Oh yeah.
I
We're
mean,
the Roman Empire. We're like the old Roman Empire, man. Like we're on our
When I was talking about, guys, I was like 80s, 90s, early 2000s is like fucking peak humanity. You can agree with me or not, but that's what I feel like humanity was. That was the best. That's the fucking best.
Well, probably because that was our prime, and that's when we grew up. Like, I think we're all about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was born
that would be the time of our lives
I'm
because we
Gen
were
Z,
on our
ages
prime,
11
you
to
know?
26.
But that's probably how everybody else felt, like in their own era.
Yeah, we're always going to have like faults that we're going to talk about with different generations and whatnot. That's not what this is about. It's just crazy to think about how far everything has come. And me being 44 this year, I'm just like, I can't believe we are where the fuck we are. It's hard to fathom that we are where we are. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you keep talking about it because you keep talking about turning
Mr.
44.
East
I've been on the stream.
Life
Well,
was
I'm
better
42,
without cell phones or
so I'm
mass
right there
media.
with you. Like, you know, I'm 2 years behind you, but it's the same thing, dude. Like, you know, and I know Chaos is right there with you. And I don't know how old are you, MGTOW?
I'm 34, about to be 35. So yeah, I'm right there.
Oh well, he's learning better than we are. You know, he's got a 10-year jump on us. And he's already got it figured out because he's doing the whole MGTOW thing, and you know, goddamn, he's smarter than we were at that age.
Well, we're talking about a lot of our experiences because we hope that our experiences and our expertise can pass off and
They can
think.
learn from the shit
They
we
can learn.
went through and adapt and overcome.
Can they look at that and be like, okay, heard this, okay, yeah, this makes sense here, this makes sense there, okay, maybe I need to look at this from outside the box perspective, and then you go from there. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on board.
I'm gonna get something to eat. I'll be right back.
I'm on board with MGTOW too. Like with you know, just a little bit younger. Like I'm on board with him, and you know, it makes a whole lot of sense. So, you know, you can learn things from younger people.
Oh yeah.
It don't always, it don't always have to be the elders fucking leading the pack.
Yeah, you can learn something from anybody.
MGTOW is doing it. The red pill, baby.
Oh yeah. You can
I
learn
know.
something.
I've seen your streams. Red pill is like the whole thing. I don't totally understand the whole MGTOW versus red pill, and like, I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but
well,
you know.
Red pill is simply just the awakening to the lies that's been told to you.
Yeah, it's like
And
the
then-
Civil War. That's when you start fighting. But like MGTOW is like a whole different thing.
MGTOW is the lifestyle response after the red pill being introduced to you.
Yeah, I'm still in the red pill phase, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've been there for years. Don't get me wrong. I've been there for like 5 years. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get out of it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people in this community that's red pilled. MGTOW is just a choice that you make after you become red pill enlightened. That's all it is. It's the same thing, but it's just taking further steps after the red pill. Like how to apply the red pill knowledge to your life and stuff like that. That's all it is.
I just know, well, I've been fighting back. I just happen to know, like, I'll never be with another woman again. Fuck this shit. Like, I mean, I'll get laid, but, like, I'll never fucking, like,
yeah.
I'm not getting married again. I'm not doing any of this shit. Like, I've already been there and done that. I'm old. I got a 18-year-old daughter. Fuck this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, even though that I'm MGTOW, I mean, I still look at women all the time. I mean, that's never gonna change. That's just human nature.
You're gonna hit a bar up. You're gonna fucking go to town.
Yeah, I mean, it'll never change. It's human nature. MGTOW is just simply the response to it. Like, how do you go about it after you've been exposed to it? Like, the truth and stuff. That's all it is.
They go home the next morning, and that's all there is to it.
Use the tenets and apply them to your life, and
I'll never be married again, I'll tell you that much. And it's not because of anything you've said, it's because I've lived and learned.
Yeah.
At 42, fuck, man.
Well, you gotta remember, you gotta remember, dude, I'm still young in all this, so I ain't been out this very long, so.
I mean, you just haven't found the right woman yet. To fuck you
Mr.
up.
E said,
I keep hearing that, and I'm like, I
was
guess
dragged
not.
into family court by my
And
ex-wife.
because I know that
I
that
went
can
monk
happen,
a little over 3 years
choose
ago.
not to engage, so.
But it seems to be the same kind of overlapping scenarios over and over again.
Right.
He's just a friend.
Just a friend.
Oh, is he? Huh. Well, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't talk to him. Oh, you're just you're insecure. You're being controlling. Why? Just call it a hunch.
Yeah, life was better without all this modern bullshit. I agree.
But
I don't know about games.
Don't you dare get caught talking to a chick though. She'll have a conniption fit.
I don't know about video games, Mystery. I kind of like the fact that we have video games, but yeah, modern technology like phones and
It is what it is. You can't get away from it.
Nope.
Oh, it's
Technology will be our undoing.
Yeah, well now with all the AI shit, even Elon Musk, like AI is gonna be our downfall. You know, and it will, because once they figure out that we're just fucking ignorant fucking animals, AI will fucking destroy us if you give it too much power.
Well, AIs have the ability to outthink people. That
AI, just like in every AI movie, it gets way too smart for its own
I
damn
went deep into
good.
thought last night about relationships,
actually
and I was
happening.
damn, there's no way around it in the end.
It's actually
Then I
fucking
was like,
happening.
there was a guy before herself.
You know, we think it's all fictional, but it's not.
Nope. It's all predictions of the future, man. Like,
I mean, we see it coming, but we still let it happen anyways. So I guess what are we like?
no, we're just labeled conspiracy theorists. That's the difference.
It's not conspiracy though. I mean, really, I like. Okay, so if you look at, dude, even on certain websites and stuff like that, like if you look at it, I don't know if you're on iFunny or if you have any of those apps or something like that. They're putting out pictures. They're creating their own pictures of like hot women with big tits and shit like that to gain more views. They're created by AI. Geometrically, symmetrical, fucking everything, like just the perfect woman. Whoever gets more likes, like companies are using this technology to just manipulate us, get more likes, make more money, read more ads, you know? It's already happening.
I'm comfortable just being alive.
I'm not saying we're gonna go full fucking, you know, Terminator in the next 10 years, but man, who knows? The army, the government,
Nah, they'll be the first ones to do this, to do the cyborg shit.
Yeah, they're making all these, you know, robots and shit there. You got dogs, and fucking robots that can walk around on their own without cords.
What's up, Cubing? How you doing,
Cubing
brother?
Speed said, Victory hand medium light skin tone smiling face with sunglasses.
Enjoy your life.
Cubing Speed
Clearly, right now outweighs
hail to the
gamble
chats
that
and host.
would take
Cookie
marrying
baby
her
bottle.
or dating her. With the resources at her fingertips to be able to put you away, just by mere accusations, brother, it ain't worth it.
Devastating. It's like she has the nuclear fucking codes.
Yeah, it's called the state.
That's
the nuclear codes.
Ruin your fucking life, bro.
Ruin your fucking life. What's wrong?
And once you realize, Bingus, that that's all the government and Fortune 500 companies and banks sponsoring her, allow her to do that, just like the black people and the BLMs and the Antifa
Reading
and
manga, but I
the
see you're
LGBT
still
and
going
look
2
at it
hours
like a
strong.
business.
Bob sent me.
It all starts to make
LOL.
sense, brother.
Folded hands, medium light skin tone expression
You're
on his
nothing more
face.
than a cog in a machine.
You're a fucking fucking machine. It's business, bitch.
Bingus is a little younger than us too. He hasn't really
A
experienced
little.
all this.
Dude, it's like Bingus is like 12, dude.
No, he's shut up. He's not like that fucking kid from Australia.
Nah, Bingus is like 23.
I was like, damn,
But you
I'd
remember
love to
that kid
cuddle
from
a chick
Australia
on
that
this,
kept
and I
coming
was
up
like,
and he
wait,
was like
someone
literally
else was
fucking
behind
12?
This is not too
Oh
long ago.
yeah.
Why did that robot blow up needlessly bigger than it should have?
Yeah, how do you guys respond to that? For someone who's 12-year-old to like recognize what we're talking about, how the fuck do you respond to that shit?
I gotta be honest, Saunders, I don't
Some
approach
kids are
children.
a lot smarter than you think.
I gotta be honest, Saunders, I wouldn't engage with children about it. Because that's just,
Yeah, see, I give my son opportunities when the opportunity presents itself, and he's going to be 15 this July. I'm like, look, son, there's not, here's an example. He's like, damn it. That's all we were talking about. Guys, swim along guys that other women want. It's insane. I'm like, oh shit, how do I respond to this? Because he's
that's what I
right.
was gonna say. Well, that's what I was gonna say. In that situation, I would leave it up to you because you are the parent. So
Yeah.
that's really your territory. That's not really somebody on the internet.
No.
It's so crazy. It's crazy to see that shit. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, okay, son, I want you. We're gonna break this down. It's okay to be attracted. Yeah. Sex, it's okay to this, that, and the other. Just saw it. I saw women want other men that want other women want to be like. Take that from the back of your mind.
You know that fucks up about like, okay, so like that. I don't know if y'all watch like Liberal Hive Mind or anything like that, but
no, but I know who it is.
there was this one dumbass chick. She made this TikTok post about and she's like totally liberal, right? She's like, well, I want a man that opens the door for me and pays for dinner and does things like that and blah blah blah, but I don't want him to be Republican.
A wild.
I'm like, okay,
well, entered the chat. Welcome to
your
the stream.
fucking problem because the only people that do that are people that are fucking Republican. You know?
You don't have to be a Republican. It's just even in the place, like, wait, hold on, guys. Republican, Democrat, okay. Does it got to be defined in two subsectors? Okay. What if I don't agree with this and agree with that, but I don't like identify with whatever the fuck you guys are talking about?
She wanted a liberal man, but did conservative things.
It's gonna find that.
So, a man that would pay for everything while she still gets to LARP around as what she thinks a man is.
Chaos, where can we find a man like that?
I would remind her.
Chaos, where are we gonna find a man like that? Chaos, we're gonna find.
At the gun range, you could find one.
Cubing
I would
Speak
remind her
said,
that
I'm
uh,
will be 38 this year. Beer mug
I would
smiling
remind
face.
her that it's
What's up,
2023
K-Plan?
K-Plan
and
1142
men
said,
and women are equal now.
Hope
and
all
stop by
is
to
well.
leave a thumbs up.
barbaric standards
Good
I
night,
anymore.
appreciate
everyone.
that, sir. Thanks for swinging
Bingus
by.
said,
I'm pretty sure she was in
GNK
California. I'm just saying, like, that she made this TikTok
said,
saying, like, she wanted
Kyle Saunders
a man like us that have all the values that we have, but she wanted him to be liberal. And I'm like, guess what? Those people don't fucking exist. Okay.
No.
Yeah, and the thing I would tell her is, why are you expecting chivalry? You know, why are you expecting these types of things in a society where you're no longer, you know, seen as lesser than, supposedly? Why don't you approach men? Why don't you do the approaching now? It's 2023. You're equal to men, right?
I never understood that. They want to be equals, but yet they don't do any of the approaching.
Chivalry's gone, guys. The world that I grew up in, the world that you guys are growing up in now, I'll be 44 next month. That world no longer exists, guys. And I wish I was wrong. It's gone.
Because when you break down feminism, Chaos, it's nothing more than them trying to rationale, you know, what women actually are, which is the weaker sex, and, you know, all the benefits that come with being the weaker sex, while trying to have it's their cake and eating it too scenarios. All
Weaker
it is. They're
physically,
trying
not mentally.
It's
They're trying to-
neo-Marxism.
Yeah, they're trying to juggle two conflicting ideas at once.
Yeah, they want this.
We're
Well,
all
they want to have their cake and they want to eat.
we're equals. Men and women are the same, but all men are pigs and dogs. But wouldn't that mean all women are pigs and dogs too?
The men that are pigs, the ones that open the door for you and pay for your meals and fucking take care of you, those are the men I want. Except for I don't want them to be
Mr. E
Republican
said,
or
women can't
libertarian.
handle rejection. I've had a couple women act weird and freaked out
maybe
when
the
I
problem's
politely
with
said
fucking
no.
you know?
If you were to, I talked about this with 100 guys, and it doesn't make a difference, guys. You guys know this, but if you were to take a woman that thinks about what you guys are just talking about and say, I want you to go 24 hours without using any man-made appliance, period in the story. I want you to go. I know. No man-made appliance. Not cars, not houses, not plumbing, not electricity, not road work, not nothing. I want you to go 24 hours without using man-made, man-invented appliance. Go. How are we going to survive?
Shoot.
Come on. Tell me right now how they're going to fucking survive, motherfuckers. They ain't going to be able to survive. You're going to be on the fucking sticks living in the fucking Amazon because you ain't fucking getting it. Men made and fucking perfected all of this fucking shit. Okay? Strong men, innovative men, fucking awesome men. Men that I appreciate because I have indoor plumbing, I have fucking AC, I have HVAC, I have mechanics, I have all that. I appreciate all the men who fucking take my trash out. They fill my water.
Not a lot of women doing that shit.
Guys, everything with this roof over my head. Do you think this roof over my head was accessible for men? Are you out of your fucking head?
Yeah, but they'll pull up the one example of
The exception to the rule.
So we're gonna talk about like when Billie Jean King fucking beat the guy in tennis or some shit. Like pull up the one
Saunders
example
sounds
of
body.
like one of them beat the
Thinking
man.
face thought balloon.
That thing in tennis, guys, that thing you guys are talking about, that thing in tennis, that one dude who was smoking cigarettes and drinking beer fucking beat Venice and fucking Serena, the fucking best fucking tennis players of all.
Because women,
he fucking smoked and balled. You guys know that, right?
They won't be logical about it though. Like women are not logical.
Because women subconsciously hold in their mind the benefits, the natural benefits that come with being the weaker sex, while at the same time trying to hold another standard of all the benefits that men have that comes with our side of it. They're holding two
ancestors have our
conflicting
backs, and the
ideals at the
gods are
same
on our
time.
side.
Subconsciously, they acknowledge that they're the
When you
weaker
put
of the
it
two
that way.
sexes in most all
Empire will get
cases.
what's coming
End
to
of a
us.
minute.
Certainly doesn't seem as
Doesn't
unlikely
that-
But
as
at-
it once
like-
did.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But at the same time, they're trying to get all the benefits on their side too that men have,
You wanna watch where
being
you're
the
going.
stronger sex, and it just doesn't work that way. See, they subconsciously acknowledge they're the weaker of the two. So if you break down all that feminism is and it teaches, it's really just on a subconscious level. These women are
A wild,
acknowledging that all of these
Big Angry Phil.
weaknesses
It's
in them exist.
Enters the chat.
Amazon.
Welcome to the stream.
Look at it like
Big Angry
Amazonians.
Phil
That's what you look
said,
at feminism like.
If
The
Polska Bob
Amazonian
isn't here,
things.
hey Bob, your
Uh,
chat is still on grinning face with sweat.
They're
grinning
basically
face with
trying to
sweat.
make up for all of the weak and all of this on a natural level. It's not hard to understand.
He was the chancellor.
Angry Phil, what's up?
But that was
How you doing, Big Angry Phil? Hope all is well, sir.
Hey, Big Angry Phil.
Please let this be the right fucking way.
What about that? About the women?
We'll do a fucking,
Dude, you sound really jarbled, really bad, bro.
So it takes,
Big Angry Phil
two. It takes
said,
two. It honestly
"Yo,
does.
chaos."
Because look,
Oh yeah.
women physically and mentally are like, look, men are not very fucking emotionally charged for the most part as they want us to be. So look, we fucking work hard and we do the hard things because we are stronger and this and that. And the women take care of the emotional shit because they're just more intuitive and more emotional than men are, and that's the way things go. But like, I was looking at this other thing, this TikTok the other day, and again, I saw it on Liberal Hive Mind, and it was a female that transitioned to a male and had like a full fucking beard and shit. And she fucking full broke down, started fucking crying and shit. She's like, "Oh my god,
Bingus
when women see
said,
me crossing the street,
I remember when I went to my auto shop teacher when I
fucking,
broke
they
up
cross
with
the
the
street and they get away
HSGF
from
and he
me
said
and-
some girls
and I
prefer
can't find
different
people
kinds
to
of
relate
meat
to
when
me
you
and
start
talk to
eating
them
too
and
much
blah, blah,
sausage you
blah."
might
And I'm
start
like,
craving
yeah, because
steak
you know what?
lol.
Men don't talk about their feelings, and we don't do this shit, like, not normally, and like, because we're
wild,
men, we have to be
Michelle
stronger,
Guevara
and hey, this is the shit
entered
we
the
gotta
chat.
go through.
Welcome
This
to the
is why the
stream.
suicide rate is
Michelle
so much
Guevara
higher. This is
said,
why the suicide rate is
just
so
dropping
much
by to
higher
wish you
among
gentlemen a
men,
damnably
because
fine
we
hour
have to
of the day.
bear all this shit.
Big Angry
Nobody
Phil
ever gives us any
said,
fucking support.
I haven't
Like,
played
you know,
Final
not
Fantasy
women,
since
and they get all
FF10.
the support.
The
you know?
SNES
Well,
one's
see,
still my favorite.
Most
Then
people don't
FF9 on
understand that men and
PS1.
women are two halves of a whole. We are meant to complement each other in areas that each other benefit in that the other doesn't.
Exactly.
Men are logical, women are emotional, and that goes together. When they come together, it makes a strong bond because that's the strength you draw from women, and our logic
Mr.
is what
E
they draw strength from
said,
us. So,
Michelle, sign up
this
the
is what most
horns.
people don't understand, and this is why when you see trans people getting, transitioning to the opposite sex, this is why they're so confused in their brain pan,
Michelle
because they're trying to
Guevara
make sense of this
said,
from the biological
Bonjour,
side
brother
that they were
Coas,
born as,
brother E.
and it don't make sense to them. That's why their brains are jumbled up. If you
Yeah, and-
start off life as a woman and you're transitioning into a man, they're still trying to process this life through a woman's lens while pretending to be a man. That's why there's all
Exactly.
kind of confusion coming
And
from
how
their
do you
brain.
think it? And how do you think that affects the child? That okay, you decide, even though you're a man, you decide you're a woman, and you're trying to breastfeed a fucking baby when you ain't got no tits and you ain't got no milk. Like, how do you think it's gonna fuck them up? But we're supposed to just allow that to happen because why?
Because they're
It happens-
feeling.
It happens because they have the state sponsoring them. They have the resources backing them to put people away if they
Michelle
disagree. It's
Guevara
all propaganda. That's
said,
all it is.
What do you think
Main
is gonna
gods.
happen to that child?
Z Robo Chat Reader.
First of all, it ain't getting no milk. You're a man. It ain't getting no milk from you, like sucking on your fucking man titty. Like, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna fuck them up.
Isn't that child abuse?
Yeah.
It is, yes, very much so.
But people don't see it that way because no, she says she's a woman. So what? Come on,
That's
man.
why people. That's why people have problems with these trans folks right now. It's because of that. Because of all this, mental illness that they're perpetuating on children.
I bet that's the spot
You know,
lightning struck.
and
And we're supposed to go inside.
We're literally talking about 1% of the population. Like
But they're
1%
causing
of the
so
population
much
somehow
trouble.
sounds man.
again, look at all of the state sponsoring that's going on behind them. Look at the government. Look at the Fortune 500 companies that back them. They have massive resources backing them, keeping this shit going. Like I said way a while ago, it's become so potent now. They've bought into this nonsense that they're more important than they actually are because they've been lied to. And,
To get votes, not because it's actually better for society, just to get votes.
Right. It's all political.
1%.
These people are being thrown away just like we are as men. They're being used as tools and then thrown away once their usefulness has been done out here in the culture, which is to destroy and to divide.
You're a white man, you're a white supremacist, unless you're president, and then you're not a white supremacist. But anybody else who's a white man who happens to also vote Democrat.
That's because Biden
you're okay.
It's because Biden isn't white. He's Chinese.
Yeah, all white people are white supremacists.
That's what they say.
We all have swastika tattoos.
Oh
and
yeah.
Fucking like we're all white supremacists. Hey, let's not forget the fact like affirmative action and all this bullshit caused all this. Look, 75% of the people that live in this fucking country are white. So why does half of every business have to be full of minorities? Because it's not equal, is it?
The math doesn't add up. You can't compare a minority to a majority and expect the math to equal out.
If you have
Cubing
18% of the population, it's
Dang,
black.
outlaw hitting
Why
the hard
does
points
50% of
differently.
the work population
Getting
have
me
to be
perky.
black? Then that
LOL
just
smiling
cuts out
face
the
with
majority of white
sunglasses,
people,
thumbs
doesn't
up,
it? So isn't it
medium light skin
reverse
tone.
racism?
Well, it's because
Well, it's
racism is a colored person's idea, anyways.
I don't know what the last census was, but I think it was like 77% of white people in the country. So, like, why does
Well,
every business have to have half?
We're about tied with the Hispanics right now. We're in the next
illegal
in like the
Hispanics that
next
don't
10,
have social
15
security
years.
card.
Well, no, in the next 10 to 20 years, we'll become a minority.
Yeah, because they opened the borders.
Well, it's not just that. You gotta think we got abortion going on too. So, little precious white babies is being killed too. I'm kidding. I don't.
Yeah, well, that's not
But
the
yeah,
problem.
there's still. Well, that's part of
Who's
the
getting
problem
most
too.
abortions? Let's be real. Who's getting the most abortions?
Black people.
Minorities.
Yeah.
Okay, I got no problem with that, man. And it's not because I'm racist. It's because I'm like, do we need more people I gotta pay tax dollars for to feed these fucking kids? But like, who's getting the most abortions? Fucking black people.
Oh, and I think it's white women that are in
Bingus
second place there with that.
Said, I actually
Well, only
feel like
because
smoking weed.
75% of the
Thinking
people
about this topic,
in America
haha.
are fucking white.
This thing's clogged.
So
I'm disappointed.
So it's like if you actually, if you did the math, majority wise, it's kind of insane that, most people in prisons are black
Michelle
or
Guevara
Mexican or something like
said,
that, but like
Bigotry is bigotry no matter how
when
one
they
colors
are-
it.
when they are the
Exactly.
minority, but who's the one doing all the crimes?
That's,
See,
that's
white people aren't
also
doing it.
something, if you look at it like this, when you're comparing a minority to a majority, there's always going to be there's always going to be marginalized. So
Yeah, but they don't. But they don't take that in consideration. They
no,
just say,
of course
"Oh,
not,
they-
because it's selfish and narcissistic by nature. That's
See-
what that beast system is.
I remember down here in Corpus when the cops were taking this guy to jail and they basically beat his ass to death. That never fucking popped up on CNN. And guess what? We didn't burn our city down.
See, you have to go back to how women think. Most women think they're self-centered, they're narcissistic, egotistical. They think only of themselves. They don't care what happens to the society at large after they're gone. YOLO, bitch. They
Yeah.
live for the moment, for the here and now. So it doesn't matter to them how many babies they kill on a daily basis. If you know what I mean, or however long basis they do it. They
gotta
want
be
the
fair.
freedom. It's all about enabling females' desires, which is they want to have sex without any kind of consequences, any kind of repercussions. That's what it's all about. They don't care how many babies.
If they do, they want you to pay for it for the next 18 years or for the rest of your fucking life. Like,
right.
That's not fair, because, like,
Why should
why
I have
don't
to
you
pay?
pay?
Why should we be forced to pay for their mistakes?
I took care of my fucking daughter till she's 18 years old. She just turned 18 on June 11th, and she never paid me any fucking child support. But if it was the other way around, you know what I mean?
It's all about what the woman wants to do, and the government and somebody else take up the consequences.
And
That's what it's all about.
If the woman can't
And
decide, though,
because
the government will step in and force you to pay government child support regardless.
And because they don't care what happens to the rest of society after they die, they just want to do what they want to do, and they want somebody else to pay the cost and pay the consequences. That's what
It's man-
abortion boils down to.
And it's
Somebody
manhandle.
else fits the bill.
But, you know, I'm not opposed to, I know, I'm not a Christian like maybe Chaos, but, like, I'm saying first
The Spearman
trimester, man.
said,
You know
Time
goddamn
for
well
a
you're
hit.
pregnant, you can go ahead and take care of it. You know what I mean? Or you can take a Plan B pill the day after or something. But, like, if you want to go, like, fucking 8-9 months and then you want to fucking abort your baby when, like, you got a beach ball in your fucking belly and it can live outside the womb, I'm like, no, man. Like, come on. Give it up for adoption. Have a C-section, give it up for adoption. You know what I mean?
So
you have to be taught how to think long term, think of what's going to happen afterwards, aftermath. You know, you've got to learn to correctly value human life like it's supposed to be meant to, and they're not. They're self-centered, like I said. Once you understand how they think and apply it to what you're seeing out here, it makes sense. They are self-centered. They only care about themselves. Hell, they don't like each other. They don't like other women. They certainly don't like younger women competing for their spaces in these other men's.
I don't like anybody.
Yeah, and they don't like kids. They don't like babies.
But, you know, my whole thing is, like, when Planned Parenthood, remember those guys that went undercover?
Yep.
And, they were, like, selling baby parts and shit.
Yep.
Planned Parenthood.
Big Pharma needs those baby parts.
Yeah, who did they fucking take to jail? The guys that went undercover and exposed the story. Not fucking Planned Parenthood. The people that were, like, selling the body parts.
Nope.
Like, isn't that fucked up? So it's a government problem.
Because they need those body parts for stem cells.
The Spearman
Yeah, well,
said,
that's bullshit. Like,
This
come
looks
on.
pretty
But
interesting.
you
Just
put
what it is.
I
people that
haven't played a Final
broke the
Fantasy
story.
game since 10.
You put them in
I
jail,
just fell
not
off
the
one
people
day.
selling baby
Bingus
parts, which is a fucking felony, but it was in
I
California,
thought you
so
said
it doesn't
baby
count.
parts for a sec.
Yeah, because
Like,
it goes
but
for,
you're still-
because
but
it
you're
goes
still
because again it
two
goes
guys.
to stem cells and big pharma.
That's
Look,
bullshit.
All them
let me
collagens
tell you
and shit, they got stem cells in there because it's correct. It's fixing.
And
Ugh.
everybody,
I've come up with a new recipe.
and everybody in the
Can't
chat
wait to
here,
try it.
you have to stop trying to apply morals to these government officials. They don't have them.
Oh, no morals whatsoever.
They don't think like you and I do. They don't have morals. They don't have it. You can't have this type of stuff when you're a politician because you're not easy to control. You have to be flexible and easy to control as a politician, which means you can't have morals. You can't have ethics because you can't stand on any kind of a firm foundation that they can't shake you off of. So you have to be pliable
said,
as a politician.
They kind of look
So
like
you
collectors
have to
from
learn
Mass
not to
Effect
apply
2.
morals to these people because they don't have them. They don't care how many babies that the stem cells they get. They don't care how many men's lives that they use. They don't care how many of these people die in racial conflicts or spousal. They don't care because they don't value you in the first place.
They actually went so far as to say that like a baby can be killed after birth, like within a certain amount of time. So, quote unquote, aborted after the baby's actually fucking born. So like, what is that? That's fucking murder, bro.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, and that's what they want to do. So you got Newsom out there and fucking other people, and just every time they elect somebody new, they just keep bringing in worse and worse policies. And I'm like, okay, why do you think people are leaving California and New York in droves, and unfortunately coming to fucking Texas, which I wish they would stop. I don't want no more people.
Cost of living.
Work in Texas, man.
Dinkus.
It's the cost of living here. That's why.
I wonder what they did with my
If they turn
foreskin
Texas
thinking
blue,
face.
I'm out of here.
Bro,
Fuck
we're
that
purple.
shit.
We're turning purple. We're pretty close to purple.
Well, the heat index tomorrow is supposed to be, with the humidity incorporated, is supposed to be
Chaos.
118
Do you
degrees.
prefer the JRP
And,
or the Western RPG?
I'm not opposed to leaving anyways, but I'll probably go to somewhere like Montana or some shit. Where I don't have to deal with any of this blue state shit.
Personally, Spearman,
118 degrees.
I like button masters. I can't really do turn-based games. So, doing XCOM, I could deal with it because it's got a good story, but I'm gonna struggle because again, I'm not a huge fan of turn-based.
He said, I wonder what they did with my foreskin. Yeah, they probably made it into powder and they sold it for like one of those virility things. And so somebody could get a hard on. It's like Viagra.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Snort my cock sand, yo.
Hey, dude,
I mean-
Fable is really cool, dude. I don't know if you played that in like 20 years.
I played Fable the collection or whatever. I can't
Other
remember
songs.
the name of it.
Bingus.
Oh.
Fable,
Oh,
like
damn,
Fable
face with
1, I
tears
just
of
got my
joy.
daughter into it, and it was actually made like 2 years before she was born, but we played it tonight. And that's old school, man. That's like you remember what was that old Star Wars?
The Spearman.
Oh,
Said. Fable 2 was okay in my opinion.
Battlefront?
No, it's older than that. The RPG kind of. SOTAR, what do you call it? Sith Empire. I don't know. It was a whole fucking thing, but I had them loaded on my Xbox One. And, Fable 2 is okay, but I like Fable 1 better. But what do you call that shit? SOTAR, fucking Sith. What do you call it? Star Wars. The Knights of the Old. KOTOR. Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm not very familiar with a lot of Xbox games. I know Saints Row.
Oh yeah, I got
know
that.
COD.
She loved all those, but she never played any old games, and she played Fable tonight for the first time, and she liked it. But man, that damn game's like 20 years old. It was made in like 2004.
Take a break after this.
I like Saints Row, but it's too cartoony and fake for me.
It's meant to be.
Yeah,
They designed
but
it
I
like
like the
that.
old games. I like the old games. I don't like well, like that and Skyrim, but I don't like the new games where everything's like you're playing with other people and you don't know who you're playing with. And
You don't like playing with other
Uh,
people?
No, I like just you play the fucking game, you know?
Bingus.
Story mode, kind of
Said.
one of those things.
The first Ninja Gaiden was my shit.
Yeah.
The first
I mean-
Ninja Gaiden.
Grand Theft Auto is kind of cartoony for me too, but at least it has more it's tolerable. It's got more realistic.
I like
things
GTA
going
for a
on.
while.
GTA
like,
is fun as long as you're not coming across some asshole on a Mark II oppressor blasting your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played GTA with other people. Like, I only played the story mode, you know?
Yeah. I like to do the online stuff,
The Spearman
like the missions and
said,
the facility stuff
At
and
Bingus,
all
you are a
that.
glutton for pain.
Well, when there's other people in there, they just blast you away and they
Well,
cuff you
yeah.
up.
That's why I
don't
said I like to do the facility stuff. That's all co-op stuff. That's all I do is co-op stuff. I don't like to do stuff.
You'll get some asshole in there
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like, he's been playing for like 10 years and like just fucking blast you away immediately. Like, fuck that.
Oh yeah, happens all the time. I was doing some CEO shit, and I was bringing some shit back, and I heard someone come in and said, "Hey, Chaos for you." I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he popped me with the fucking orbital cannon. It's like, you motherfucker!
What do you mean, Spearman? LOL.
Like, I know it's a game, but still, it cost me
Still,
like
it's
200 G's.
Coming, and we keep sending them
Fuck
back.
you up. And then I like to go full old school, man. Play like some. Well, shit,
Spearman
Ninja Gaiden was cool.
Said,
Ninja
Ninja Gaiden is very difficult.
I like I just like full old school, man. Like, I don't know if you got an old NES, but just fucking Mario, man. Sometimes I like to go old school, man. Remember the treadmill games?
Oh yeah.
Like 1942, or what was the one with the tanks?
Bingus said,
Went through like the
Oh,
old
yeah, it
treadmill
was
games
awesome,
with the
but some
tanks and
places
stuff
were
on the
messed
old
up.
NES, like the original NES.
Yeah, it was, you had to step. It was like a number pad or some shit that you had to step on. And there's a bunch of Olympic games that you could play. I think that was the only game that was for. I can't remember. Then there was Excite Bike.
Oh yeah, that was like the first motorcycle game I think I ever played. Well, I played the old one on the Atari. I don't know if you ever played Atari. But Atari was like literally like it was just like a joystick and like one button.
Same to you.
A wild. Douglas Edwards.
Yo,
Chat. Welcome to the stream.
Doug, what's
Douglas
good, brother?
Edwards said, Good evening, Chaos.
Hope all is well, sir.
I knew you weren't completely useless. Oh yeah.
Hit the damn thing.
Here goes
What the hell you doing?
Bingus
I'm still here. What happened?
Hey at Douglas Edwards oncoming fist.
Excuse me.
Douglas Edwards said, Just rolled in from work. All is well, bro. Douglas Edwards said, At Bingus, good to see you, man.
Oh,
Still here. What happened?
it just sucked me inside of it. And I'm about to die again. Holy shit. That means my suit ran out.
Yo, Saunders. Hey, Mike.
Yo, what's up, Doug?
Yo.
How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you guys
Die
doing?
on me.
Hobgoblins. Yep, my
This
suit
game
ran
looks
out.
pretty sweet.
It is. I'm getting my ass handed to me.
This one's just for you.
Woo!
Biggie, you're on fire today. That was a close one.
Too close for comfort.
This is
Just being alive.
not good
Bingus
at all.
said, I'm just reflecting on how I cussed out my next door neighbors today, and some of the things I said we were pretty brutal, but yeah, no, I had to, man.
I have strange hours, I tell you. I just got rolled in from work.
Yeah.
It's
Creatures
all
of the
good.
night.
I like the hours I'm on.
You're a creature of the night like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just know it. Show yourself
Bingus
already!
Cool
said,
it.
and damn Doug a late one.
Oh yeah, Bingus. Yeah, I get off about 2:15.
This is gonna be a problem. Yep, it's recharging.
Is this a character you built for
No,
yourself, or
this
it
is
no? Okay.
this is in the game.
Okay.
These are just like DLCs. Some of them are actual, like in the game. This stuff I'm choosing right now is in the game. The suit I have on is essentially I'm invincible,
Okay.
or until the shield drops, and then it's gotta recharge. Huh.
She is. That's her.
Well,
Do
This
something not.
this
Naga.
franchise goes back a while. This goes back to the original PlayStation, doesn't it? Final Fantasy.
Nintendo actually.
Oh wow. Very cool.
Oh, well. About to fight a level 30
Quit your
at
crying.
level 20. Oh. Let's see what happens.
Nice one, Prompto. It's nothing.
Oh.
Did Saunders fall asleep?
No. Oh, shit. It didn't restore my health all the way.
I did find out the cannabis factory does have actual marijuana that you can buy that you smoke that doesn't have any of that Delta 8 in it.
Ooh. That thing pucked me up. God damn.
What was she talking about?
It's me.
Oh, something about that's the last runestone.
Finally.
All right.
Looks like cussed out his next door neighbor. What happened?
Oh, I'm not sure. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, man, I'm just capital. You know what that's from, right?
This is it.
What is that? Oh,
Power of
what's
the
that? Oh,
storm.
that means you're fine.
I expected more fire
Fucking
and brimstone.
Tombstone, remember?
Some gods are friendlier than others.
Oh,
I'm not
dude.
gonna call it.
Oh, I love
I'm-
that movie.
I'm
Oh,
capital.
Perhaps you'd
Well,
better-
Johnny
that's
Ringo.
awesome.
Just a
Well,
bit.
Johnny
Oh,
Ringo.
I'm gonna have to go.
Looks like somebody just walked over your grave.
Well done.
We started
Yeah.
Play for Blood,
Oh
remember?
gosh, I haven't seen it enough. Apparently, that's a great movie. Yeah.
Play for Blood,
I'm
remember?
just capital.
I was just fooling about. I wasn't. And this time, it's legal.
Oh,
All
that's
right,
the fight
longer.
scene with him and Dadgummit, Doc Holliday. Yes.
Yeah, Doc Holliday and
Dingus.
say
Said,
when.
my next door neighbor's Lesbo daughter took Ding Dong Ditch to a
And
different
that-
You know,
level and
Daisy.
opened my
Johnny
front
Ringo,
door.
Yeah.
He was he's pretty crazy himself. I mean, he's
Yeah, but so was Doc.
pretty tough dude.
Cause you remember, like right before that, Jock was in the, in the sick bed, and he was like talking to fucking
Oh, yeah.
Wyatt, and he was
So
like,
Yeah.
I can't beat him, can I? And he's like, no. He's
what?
like, what makes a man like Ringo do the things he does? He's like, man like Ringo can't kill enough, steal enough, inflict enough pain.
Bingus, what you do? You just walk around your house naked. Once she sees you naked once, she ain't gonna do it again. But if she keeps doing it, she likes what she sees. Then you need to be
But
scared.
if she's a lesbo, though, like she ain't gonna
Lesbo's
like
a
the
Lesbo's a
swinging-
choice.
Maybe she likes it. Maybe she doesn't know she doesn't like it. Maybe you gotta. bring
Every
her back to
lesbo
the-
thinks they're a lesbo until they meet a dick.
Well, I don't know. How good is Bingus's dick?
It
How
depends
good
on
is Bingus's
that.
dingus?
That depends on how well Bingus lays the dingus.
I mean, if you got like a
Yeah.
6-inch, 7-inch dingus, you might bring her to the light side, bro. I'm the keymaster. You're the gatekeeper.
Oh God. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, Rick Moranis and Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters. Yes. I love it. I love it. My horse's name in Red Dead is
Guess
Peter
Rama
Vink.
finally got sick of showers.
Oh, now nice.
Up there, it's huge.
It's true, this man has no dick.
Yeah?
Fucked up.
About your car.
What did happen to Sanders? Did he fall asleep?
Now I can handle garage
Looks like
smoke,
it.
no problem. But sweet talking the Empire, that'll take some doing.
Don't worry about it.
Fucking picturing that shit in my mind now.
Sure about that?
I'm the gatekeeper. You the keymaster.
Later.
Who was that?
Cindy.
Now I'm
Egon's
now
like,
I'm
no.
picturing like the Stay Puft
I can
Marshmallow
take
Man.
you to the
And did she have any choice words for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Regalia's at an Imperial base.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
I
Guess
love
Haven't seen that.
Ghostbusters.
One
I
question.
haven't seen that movie in like 5 years.
I'd say now.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. We had some good ones, I don't know. I came up in the 90s.
This is nothing
That
more
all
than
that stuff was
conjecture,
coming out.
but I suspect
late
that
80s,
ship was due to arrive far
Early
earlier.
90s.
The thunder and lightning must have slowed it down. There's a chance they intend to transport the Regalia back to Niflheim.
We ought to thank the Thunder God for buying us some
I
time.
remember, and I don't know, it must have been like 5 years ago, but I was like,
Run in and right off.
I was sitting behind my desk in my office, and I shared office with like 2 other people. And, like a wall full of bullshit, whatever. Like we had a meeting, and somebody said something about cigarettes, and I was like, she tastes like cigarettes. like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest.
People just start laughing. My boss, like the CEO, he reached over my fucking computer screen and like grabbed my cigarettes and he threw them in the ground. I was like, all
You're
right.
saying that? This is a joke.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but it was a joke that he was doing that, you know.
Well, you got a problem with camping?
Oh, okay.
Like,
She
we were
tasted
cool.
like cigarettes.
She tastes like cigarettes.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. That's probably
Dude,
my favorite
I
line
got
in the
pulled
movie.
over. I swear to God, dude, I got pulled over like 3 years ago, right? My shit was illegal as hell. I didn't have my registration and everything. Like, it was like a month out of date. And I got pulled over. And I rolled down the window, and when the guy was walking up, you know, he got out of the car, walked up behind me. I said, Lieutenant Diane, is that you?
Did you really?
He started fucking laughing. He started fucking laughing. I was like, Lieutenant Dane, you got legs. And he started laughing,
That's
man. He was
awesome.
like, look, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's
So,
cool.
he gave me a warning. I'm gonna tell you, Texas cops ain't out here to shoot everybody, but they'll shoot some people.
No.
Oh, you point a gun at them, they're gonna light you up like the Chinese New Year.
Oh no!
Bingus.
I wasn't pointing no guns. I was just like,
No, I'm
I'll
just
be
saying.
pissed as hell. Then Forrest Gump
Cops
said
here,
that
the
shit
only
was
time
funny
they're gonna
AF.
shoot you is if you point the gun at them.
well, I don't know. If
Or
I
you're a
would've just
danger
got out of
to
the
everybody
car, they might have
else.
shot me.
Oh yeah, he might have. That's one way to piss off a cop. Get out the car.
But
Unless
Lieutenant
they
Diane,
tell
I
you.
don't got no legs.
Keep it moving.
A lot of
No,
people
well,
don't
you
like
know,
this
here-
word, but if you comply, you might not die.
Well, here's the problem with most people don't understand. If you just fucking follow the fucking rules and you just do what they tell you to do, most of the time,
Most of the time, yeah.
99% of the time, they're not gonna fucking shoot you, okay?
Yeah.
I ain't never fucking tried to run from no cops. And I ain't never been shot, so I'm alright.
Bingus.
I was
said,
shot with a BB.
California is if you
when I
do
was
get out the
13,
car or stay and we'll shoot you.
In my left, right under my left eyeball, about a 1/16 of an inch away from my retina there, or pupil.
Right.
And that hurt, and then I went to the emergency room and waited there for 8 hours for the only eye doctor that could take the BB out was in like New York or something. He got me in there that night about 10 o'clock or 11, and then he put a needle in my eye to numb it so he could pull the BB out. That was actually, that hurt almost as much as the BB that my friend shot me with.
It's fucked up, dude. My grandpa,
And,
dude, I've
you
been
know, I
taking
told
care of
him.
him.
He's
Go
like,
ahead.
it ain't loaded, it ain't. He pointed it right at my damn head.
Hello. Getting by.
It's fucked up, dude. My grandpa, dude, you get, like, no bullshit.
Let's go back.
Once a week, he gets a shot in his eye.
Our hotel room?
Not gonna
He has, like, severe dementia and, like, Alzheimer's. So, like, I take care of him usually from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Said.
And
You
I
know
just
what
happen to have
hurts are
tonight
those
off.
CO2 guns.
And because I told my dad, I was like, somebody needs to come over here and help me out. I just 84 hours this week I spent over there. Like, I need a fucking day off. And want to hang with my daughter and shit. But no, he gets like once a week, he gets fucking literally, he gets fucking shots in his fucking eyeball, dude. Like once a week. It's fucking insane, dude.
That is crazy.
Just so he can see. I don't know if it's.
Oh,
I don't
just so
know
he
what the fuck
won't
it is. Just. yeah, full sight or whatever, but like, I don't know if it's glaucoma or fucking whatever, but like they stick a needle in his fucking eyeball, both of his eyeballs, once a week, man. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking insane. And I asked him, like, what's that like, dude? Well, I know it's horrible. He's like, well, the alternative is like when he's lucid. He's like, well, the alternative is I can't fucking see, you know? But sometimes he just walks around and he's just like derp, 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 just fucking walk around in circles and shit, you know? He thinks it's 30 years ago and he wants to go to work.
Is he in his late 80s?
Oh yeah, he's well mid
84?
80s, like 84. Well,
Thing
no, I
is,
think it's like 82,
said,
83.
I've had sharp pains
And,
in my eyes before, but that sounds
But he
like
still
it hurts
thinks
like hell.
he has Alzheimer's and dementia. So he's like, he thinks sometimes like when he wakes up at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, he wants to walk out the front door and he thinks he needs to go to work or some shit. And I'm like, no, hey, we're at home.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, I want you to take me home. And I'm like, no, we're at your home. Like, it's a whole fucking thing, man. I've been caring for him, and
absolutely.
I will until he dies. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
my dad helps me out. Well, his son and his daughter, and then his, I don't know, whatever you want to call her, his stepdaughter-in-law or whatever, helps out.
That's a good thing you're doing, it sounds like.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that works all night, every night. So I'm there all nights. Everybody else gets like, they come by for 2 days, you know, during the day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I'm there 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. every night. And it's just, it gets to be a little much, man. You need a break, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I am not into wildlife.
I love him. I mean, he's a good guy. It just,
Oh, sure. No, I understand what you're saying.
to see him, and plus
Then
my
the
grandma's
only
there
other
too.
alternative is like putting him in a retirement home or something like that where they can take care of him. But you know, I won't do that with my own dad. Like he can live with me wherever I'm at. So you know,
Yeah, well, when you gotta work during the day and do stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just saying, they each get days off. I did tell them I need days off. Like, I can't do this 7, 10 straight days in a row and like before I get a day off, because I gotta spend time with my own daughter and I have a life too. Like, they do compensate me though. I gotta say, they give me a little bit of money. Doesn't amount to much. Probably like
are you
less.
down south too?
Yeah, I
do you
live
live
down
in the
in
south too, Mike?
I live in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hot
God,
as hell
so
down
you
here.
guys are probably like getting some real hot summer too right now.
Oh, dude, it's supposed to be 118-degree heat index tomorrow with the humidity.
I'm hearing people bitch about it up here in Iowa, and I'm like, don't even start bitching until you go to Texas.
Dude, well, I'm right on the coast, so tomorrow it's today it was 116. Tomorrow, with the humidity, they're saying 118 degrees with the humidity, 118-degree heat index. I don't think people
That's
understand how
brutal.
fucking hot that is.
No, they don't. I mean, I've been down there before, and I lived in Georgia for a year. No, that was the hottest summer of my whole life was in Georgia. But no, they don't know. I'm up here, and it's like, you know, it's like 72 degrees right now. So
I used to live in New York for a little while, like upstate New York, not New York, but like I remember when I was up there and it was like 85 degrees and like they were fucking like on the news, they were like, "Oh, everybody, like, oh, heat wave and heat wave, blah blah blah.
No.
Like, make sure you're hydrated and shit." I'm like, bitch, I just came from Texas. Like, you tell me 85 degrees is a heat wave? That's like fall for us, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. And you guys can have it for sure. I mean, I don't want you to have it, of course. Not, you know. But,
Easy as they come.
No, I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
In a minute.
Dude, it's brutal, man.
Bingus.
You go out and check the mail, or you take
It
your
went
trash
from
cans
raining to
out,
hot
man,
here.
you're sweating by the time you get back inside.
Yeah.
You get poisoned
No
or
one
It
up
wouldn't
here
be
I
so
know
bad.
right now is sweating like that.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was dry heat, but the humidity, man, that's what makes it bad. Because we're right off the coast.
Yeah. Everybody keeps telling me the humidity's about to get bad here, but we're coming up on July and it's hot, but it's not very humid. Not yet.
Alone? That wasn't part of the deal.
Well, that's what's pissing me off, is because
Knocked.
we're June, and it's already to 118. Like, by July and August, man, we'll be 120 plus.
Nothing to it.
Like, at the end of the day. I'm like, whatever, man. That's why my fucking AC bill is like $500 a month. And, you know, just keep the house cool and...
Yeah. Yeah, these bastards where I live, they don't... Well, I can't call them bastards. I got an AC in here and I'm keeping it cold. Or somewhat cool. But they offer heat during the winter, but there's no sort of like central heat or air. They got boilers here they use in the wintertime and to heat up everything, and then I'm begging them to turn it off in my apartment, but they can't do that, so I'll probably be running AC in the winter.
You said Iowa?
In Iowa, yeah. I'm on the Iowa, Nebraska, like, border there.
A lot of people up there don't even have AC.
No, that's true. They just are.
It's open
yeah,
windows
it's really not
during
that
the
bad.
summer.
Yeah. I gotta have that AC because I like to be cold, so I can
I'm
sleep.
old and fat. I gotta have the AC, man.
Oh yeah, you guys especially down where you're at. God.
God, dude, you can tell me if I didn't have no AC down here, I'd probably die, dude. I'm like 220. I'm like 6 foot, 220. Fuck. If I didn't have no AC, man, I'd just be dying, bro.
And I love the winters. The winters they get below freezing, and then up into like 40s, and I love that.
It don't bother me too much, man, because you can always put more clothes on. But when it's too hot, you can't take enough stuff off, you know?
No, you can't.
You have to have, like, AC to cool you down. Or swamp coolers or something, which makes it more humid.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was like either going out with women or cohabitating, I've done that before, they always talk about being cold. It's too cold.
Cold never bothered me, man. I moved all over this goddamn place. I left, I think I was 16 when I left Texas. I went to New York, upstate New York, for about 2 years. Cold didn't bother me too much. But I moved back quickly when I realized what was happening in New York,
Oh, yeah.
Texas, and everything like that. I moved back, like, quickly. I spent a little time in Arkansas, in Kansas, Missouri.
Yep.
I don't know, all within about span of about 2 or 3 years. But
I definitely
got-
like this part of the country.
you're still in that hurricane or the tornado alley there.
Oh. I'll be alright.
I'm not liking this place at all.
At the end of the day, though, and I know he's up there near Wichita Falls, Chaos there.
Yep.
Mm.
I know that because he told me, and plus, that was the first place I was ever arrested. I think I was 16 years old. And I was actually arrested in Wichita Falls. Like right near the border.
Which
Me and my
part of
girlfriend
border?
just decided we were gonna go on our own way. And that's where they got us, Wichita Falls. And they dragged my ass all the way back to Corpus Christi.
How close is that to New Mexico, Mike?
From Corpus Christi?
If the ferry at Galden were running.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I'd have to cross all across Texas. That's probably at least 800 miles
Until we hear news to the
before I got.
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind. Okay.
yeah, that's a
Okay.
long way. I'm way on the
Yeah.
New Mexico. Yeah, I'd have to do, fuck, at least 900 miles. Texas is big, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is big, isn't it? It's the biggest state, I think, in the whole country.
Well, other than Alaska. Or
Oh,
yeah, I
okay,
think other than
Alaska's
Alaska.
bigger.
But you know, population-wise, you can't. Yeah, Texas is bigger, but I mean, if you look at all of northern Alaska, it's nobody lives there. It's like Canada or something. Like if you look at all of Canada, you know that there are actually more people that live
I never heard of
south of the United States border
But its harbor was home to His
in
Majesty.
Canada,
Bet
because
everything's
they're all in
just the way we
Toronto.
left it 30
Then
years ago.
So
I
we
believe
found a
it.
harbor. Do we have
yeah,
a ship?
they all live in Toronto. Like
If
the
not,
majority of
we'll
the
find one of those
population
two.
lives in
How?
more than the southern border of America. So
Imperials above us.
There's probably all kinds of land in Canada to get.
I need now.
oh yeah, but it's barren. It's barren, like 9 months out of the year.
Oh.
You'd have to be a badass hunter, and I don't even think you could grow crops up there. It's
Really? Again?
No rest for the wicked.
Buzz off.
I know I've heard that Montana has a lot of land that is unoccupied.
That's probably because it's too close to Canada and another one of those regions.
Yeah.
I know you've probably seen Yellowstone and stuff like that.
I've never watched it. I thought
Really?
about giving it a shot, though. Is it good?
I liked it. God damn, if you've never watched it, it's a good time to watch it. You could stream all of the seasons.
Oh,
I
is
mean-
it on
Come a long way, Prompto.
Peacock, isn't it?
It's on I think Paramount streams it now.
Oh, okay. Paramount Plus, okay. I'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
well, there's two different one of those. Yeah, there's Paramount and there's Paramount Plus.
Oops.
I liked it. Kevin Costner is pretty good in it.
Oh, yeah. He's hard to beat.
But Cole Hauser was kind of in my mind, Cole Hauser was one that really sold it for me. The guy that played Rip. And,
Is he like the son?
well, kinda. He's not his son, but he kind of raised him as his son. And, like, he's the enforcer. He's the enforcer. And, god damn, it was a good show, man. Like, if you've never seen Yellowstone, you should check it out. I think you'd probably like it.
I will for sure. I'll probably watch one of them tonight.
I don't know. Have you seen it, Chaos?
What?
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone? Probably bits and pieces of it on YouTube Shorts, but that's about it.
I've never heard anybody tell me, like, they didn't like Yellowstone. You know, people used to tell me that about, what was that, fucking Game of Thrones or whatever? That shit was out for like 5 years before, like, I actually watched it. Everybody kept telling me how good it was. And I didn't watch that shit for like 5 years, man. And then I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and, like, stream it. And, like, dude, I started watching one episode after the other, and I was like, wow, this is pretty damn good.
Did you get into it?
Yeah, I did. You know, and Yellowstone was, like, even better than that, I think. It came with my values and my things.
Oh, yeah.
But Game of Thrones was just purely fictional. But Yellowstone was kind of one of those, like, Ruby Ridge type things, man. I don't know if y'all remember that. Yellowstone was kind of like, do y'all remember Ruby Ridge?
Let it be done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about a goddamn, and I'm not talking about a movie or anything. I'm talking about the actual event. Y'all remember Ruby Ridge?
I've seen a documentary on it, and I do remember being alive when it happened. Of course I was alive when it happened.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 41.
Same age.
Wouldn't expect any less from you.
You remember fucking David Koresh, fucking Waco, Texas?
I sure do. I remember seeing the magazine he was on out at my grandma's house.
I kind of feel like that was bullshit too. Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up that you can use incendiary devices. So they don't allow you to use incendiary devices in other countries for any reason under the Geneva Convention. But you can use it here at home against your own fucking people. I'm not saying David Koresh was a good guy, but like, how can we just go ahead and just use these incendiary devices that we don't allow to use against other countries just to burn people up in our own fucking country, you know? And they kill a lot of women and children.
A lot different.
I thought that was a little fucked up, bro. I'm like, that's just me.
Oh yeah.
I'm anti-government.
There's a Netflix thing on it. Yeah. I don't know where I'm at anymore. Yeah, I don't trust them. That's for sure.
Anybody ever comes from the government telling me they're here to help me, first thing I'm gonna do is pull my leg. Nope.
Oh,
No, you're not.
absolutely. We don't need you. We don't want you. Get out of here. We don't take kindly to your type around here.
Yeah. Which is basically any government official ever.
Yep. They got too much power now. Yeah. That's what
And that's what the Constitution was trying to prevent.
That's
you
right.
know? So
I've heard that
what
they
the-
don't even teach the Constitution in a lot of American high school, junior high or high schools anymore. I don't know
No,
if that's
'cause
true or not.
They don't want them to know that you actually have rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would rather teach you what it is to be transgendered or fucking some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's why
telling
DeSantis is
what it'll
getting
look
so much pushback and, you know, fucking all these other people. I don't know, man. I don't want to get too political, but is
Oh, yeah,
bullshit.
it's fine.
Most people in this fucking country understand what's happening, and even my daughter, at least I taught her right. She just turned 18. She understands it, you know. She's tired of this shit, and I think everybody's tired of it, man. It's, you know what they're going for is for the next civil war.
Yeah.
Imperials above us.
Thanks.
What they don't understand is that,
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
well, hopefully it doesn't.
Probably
But
will. Probably will.
But what they don't understand is that all the people that are advocating against not having guns and this and that and everything like that are gonna win the goddamn war, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they start
I don't see
nuking our own country.
I don't see them taking our guns. I don't see that happening.
Really? Because
Well, I might be
how many
wrong.
people? How many people? How many people do you think that are law enforcement agents own guns, have guns at home, and shit like that? And then you get a presidential order to go into people's homes, their neighbors, and stuff like that, and start taking their guns from them. Do you really think they're gonna enforce that?
I don't think. Well, even if I think this is just my opinion, and it probably doesn't carry any weight, but it's like, if they do that, I think they're not going to be stupid enough to do it. Especially in places like where I live and where you live, there's no way that that's going down.
Oh hell no! It's not gonna happen in Texas. It's not gonna happen in Alabama. Fucking, it's not gonna happen in a lot of states, bro.
It might happen in California. It might happen in
Yeah.
New York, but
California, New York, and who cares? They ain't got no guns. They ain't got no bullshit. And then all you got left in California and New York is like the only people that got guns are gang members.
Yeah.
You know,
And if a civil
so
war breaks out, Texas would crush New York in a civil war. It
I
would
think we
last
should
off
have-
about 45 minutes, probably.
I think we should have seceded a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. I think we should, dude. We got our own Air Force. We got our own fucking Navy. We got our own fucking everything. We should have just seceded a long time ago. Like, fuck them, man. And then people join along with us, and it's not a South or like racist thing, because doesn't matter whatever anything that we do or say is fucking white supremacist. Oh. It was never about.
But real people.
It was never about any
real
of that.
people
It was
don't buy
about
that.
states' rights. It was about states' rights from the beginning. Like, come on, man. So
I think
why
Texas
can't
is
you
pretty
have?
great.
Why can't you have a fucking Confederate flag on your car, like the fucking Dukes of Hazzards, or why can't you just have a Confederate flag? Period. Before everybody starts tearing it down. It was never
In
about.
the South, you can.
It's never about racism or. The only reason they fucking. And Republicans, by the way, freed the slaves. It was never about, slavery. It was about states' rights.
They
You
also
know?
gave women the right to vote too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, well.
Big mistake.
It's been a pleasure.
But
I'm fixing to end my
at the time,
stream.
probably-
We could continue talking backstage, but I'm starting to kind of nod off, so I need to end my stream.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
3.5
Oh,
hours.
Jesus. 3:30 in the morning.
It's been doing 3.5 hours. That's pretty good, if you ask me. So
Absolutely. I think so.
I can't believe my PlayStation turned back on. Holy shit, it's possessed. Woo! Look at this music. I'll deal with it in a minute. Just shout out, excuse me, everybody in the chat and everybody that come through. We got quite a few people, goddamn. Douglas Edwards, Michelle Gaver, Big Angry Phil. Make sure to check him out. Puts out a lot of great content here on YouTube. K-Plan 1142, him as well. Puts out a lot of great content. MGTOW Outlaw, another great content creator on here. Das Spearman, Avita saying, Bingus, it's always a pleasure. Briggs Jr., JLM, MGTOW Forever. Good seeing you again, brother. J.A. Mr. E. Genx Gaming, Pulse Kebab. Make sure to check him and Gen X Gaming out as well. Put a lot of great content. Mike, it's been a pleasure hanging out. Crystal Kitten. Until next time, have a great morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever it is you hail from. I'm at this bitch. Peace.
Alright, government bell.
Oh, you don't have to go. Like I said, we can still talk behind stage.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yes, nice talking to you guys, man. Wound down.
No one
Man,
mess up
bear,
your
pigs on the
YouTube stream.
loose.
Oh no, I'm starting to. I was falling asleep while I was fighting there. So, I got too comfortable.
Well, I still